All right, we're almost ready. Gemini is almost ready to do this. We're about to rock this party. In the house, Gemini. In the house, Creative Solutions. In the house, all things Matt and G. In the house, Star Willie. In the house, PAX. That's Pax. Got to get this party started, so you better hurry on. Sitting in that's Camo in the house. Mr. DJ Music's in the house. All right. Let me stop the music for a minute. Let me stop the music. Bring it to the stage. The amazing, the electric Gemini. Gemini, how you doing tonight?
Hey.
All right. We're about to get this party started. And, you know, everybody's been looking forward to it. All right, all the haters, you wanted to upgrade, so Gemini is here. We're about to have some fun. Okay, Gemini, take it to the top. You want me to start the video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Oops, I might help. Wait, let me start from the beginning. Here we go. This ain't what you used to. Wire or better. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah. You don't mean nothing to me.
What's your favorite candy? Hershey's Kiss? I could be your Hershey's Kiss.
You can't park here. You can't park here.
Now, I think the what we can see, what we're leading into, is how Black men love one another. Like, they're in love with each other, and they only use women for sexual access. They don't love Black women. They don't love women, period, in all actuality. They really love each other. And they would rather have romantic relationships with each other and sexual relationships with women.
Hi, what's up?
Do you have clothes? Wait, do you have clothes on?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Wait, there was another guy on it, right?
Nah, that's what it was a mistake in it.
What?
It was a mistake in it.
Was that a different guy in your bed?
Yeah, it was a different guy in my bed.
So you're gay?
Nah, fucking hell no.
why was there a guy with no shirt on in your bed?
Now, come on, my darling.
Listen, if you're gay, we don't care.
No, it's not. No.
Oh man.
They will deny, all while still sleeping with the woman.
Right. This is where the DL came from. This is where it came from. Everybody was doing it.
What's up, peeps? Welcome back to the Lionel B Show. It's your first time tuning into the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos, man. Also, make sure y'all click that notification bell button so anytime I drop a brand new video, y'all be the first ones to get it. Well, peeps, it looks like the GoFundMe for Gunplay's daughter didn't actually age well, as it was brought to light once again by DJ Envy that Gunplay's daughter had a heart defect, and it alleges it was his wife, not him, that started a GoFundMe to help raise some money.
Yo, Envy.
Play what up, bro?
What's up, man? Why you talking crazy, man?
Talk crazy about who?
About me, my brother. What I had to do with anything, man, and my wife posting a GoFundMe, man. What that my baby was sick, man. She had a heart defect, my brother. Why has nothing to do with cars?
Wow. Well, so this dude is really actually saying that his wife making a GoFundMe to help raise funds for their child that needed an open heart surgery has nothing to do with him? Like, how does that work?
That's crazy. I mean, let's see what else happens on here.
Envy, for real. You know I'll slap you.
Now, guys, tons of people on social media
Okay, wait. My bad. I know you hate it when I stop it, but some of these videos you be pulling, some of these videos you be loading are just hit crazy.
upset that Gunplay is seen on video gifting Rick Ross a new chain while he sits in bed like Big Mama asked you to bring her the damn remote control that's sitting right next to her. Y'all check this out.
Man, I just wanted to get you something, man, as an appreciation, my brother.
My dog for life.
You know what I'm saying? Just for everything, man. Just for being about us. And just, you know, okay, let me get it all set up. All right.
Closet.
So, you know.
So again, this dude's wife, the one that's standing up. Now, I'm gonna come back to this, but this dude's wife started a GoFundMe for their baby because she needed surgery, open heart surgery, a newborn, right?
Exactly.
And so he gets on whatever talk show this is and says it has nothing to do with him. Houseway, it has everything to do with you. You're in the house with your wife who started the GoFundMe. So it has everything to do with you. So now he's up in this dude's house, Rick Ross. Now, you would swear that the dude laying in the bed, you know, if it wasn't looking like it looks, was some type of invalid, right? But we all know that Rick Ross is not an invalid. But look, I just want you to see where it's frozen. Like, what is he staring at? Like, is he looking at dudes behind?
That's what it looks like to me. I mean, you can see the feminine energy in this room. He's looking straight at his butt when he don't need to be looking straight at his butt.
And dude is laying in the bed, like dude is straight up laying in the bed with no shirt on. And
like he getting ready.
Okay.
Let me kick out a few quick shout outs. All things Nata Jean, Mr. DJ Music, Shower Willie, Creative Solutions. We have Brownie L in the house. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Money Making Mark is in the house as well. Here we go. Money Making Mark says he's friends with Diddy, and we know how that is. And then we know where that's going.
Come on now. All right. So
he's all giddy.
Animal shelter as my vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Believe that.
So we're gonna go ahead on and rock the wool line.
Animal shelter, you already know what it is. And this how we live, this how we move. We always been dogs.
Dog
always
check.
Been motherfucking dogs, you hear me? But I appreciate this.
Now they always been dogs. The emphasis on the
Right.
dogs. Now wait a minute. Don't dogs? I've seen boy dogs hunch other boy dogs. What about you?
Yeah, I seen
Mm,
it. I seen it.
mm,
Yep,
okay.
dog. I mean, back in the day, dogs meant a whole lot of meant a whole different thing.
Mm. Prisms in the house.
Prism. Here we go. Here we get. We're gonna keep it going.
Boy, that motherfucker heavy. Animal shelter. I'm going to rep it for life. I'm going to keep it for life. I never sell it in, bro. You know I love you, my nigga. I love you.
Jeez, now a lot of people were saying, dang, did he actually use the money from the GoFundMe to buy Rick Ross a chain? How was you just recently broke? Now all of a sudden you going out buying a whole nother grown ass man a chain while he laying in the bed. Y'all, is this giving Gangstalicious?
Gangstalicious. You crazy. Come on, Riley, the song, the dance, I mean, do the homie.
Is this the real life episode of Boondocks or nah? Kind of cringe, man. Y'all let me know. Is it giving homies over hoes? Y'all let me know, man. It just, to me, it seems a little bit strange, man. It looks like, Gunplay was actually fumbling over the box like you getting ready to propose to somebody. I'm just saying, son, where they do this at. Now, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos. Share these crazy ass videos. I'm going to peep y'all on the next one. Holla.
That was cool.
Now, this video is being sponsored by Beer.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So,
what do you think?
What do you think?
I think
was there some heterosexual stuff going on?
That wasn't a that wasn't the heterosexual stuff that I know about. That looked. I mean, if they were women, it would make more sense.
It still wouldn't make sense for a woman to be straight up laid out in the bed in her lingerie while some other woman is fumbling over a jewelry to give to her. Like, no, that doesn't make sense on any straight level Look, I can't even say it right. On any heterosexual level at all. That is complete homo all across the board. But that's that whole homo-romantic thing that we're talking about. These men will swear that they're straight, will swear that they're not on the DL. But this is what straight dudes do with other straight dudes. Like, they bring them jewelry while they're laid out in the bed with no shirt on.
Yeah,
and some small shorts on, some itty bitty shorts on, some hoochie daddy shorts.
And you saw Rick Ross was looking at that dude's booty hard.
Very hard.
I mean, like, wait a minute. I mean, at least Rick, do you know somebody is filming you? I mean, come on. Tomas is in the house.
Mr. DJ Music says, only thing was missing was, oh girl, this for me.
Basically, yeah.
Beardison, the cure for your dry and frizzy beard. Now, regular oils and other moisturizers just don't cut it. Now, to order, go ahead and head over to beardison.com, and it's also available on amazon.com. Now, you can click on my link in the description after this video and order yours today. Now, what's up, peeps? Welcome back to the Lionel B Show. It's your first time tuning into the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos, man. Also, make sure y'all click that notification bell button so anytime I drop a brand new.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What's up, peeps? Welcome back to the Lionel B.
So this Rick Ross just loved getting rubbed up and down without his shirt on, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we didn't see the off-screen version of him getting rubbed down by
Yeah, I swear he needs to get in the damn gym.
By Gunplay.
He needs to get in some double days or something. Shoot.
Us black dudes, a lot of us don't like black girls, right? You ever heard the term, if it ain't snowing?
What's up, beloveds? By beloveds, I mean black men, straight black men like this. I got some bad news for you.
Hi, welcome to my channel. This is a video that highlights the deep self-hatred that is prevalent in the black community.
Like this. I got some bad news for you. It's not that you dislike black women. You dislike black people in general. You're just stuck being black. Check this out. Dudes like this don't like black gay people, black trans people, black women, other black men, really. Let's be honest. The masses out here, let's be honest. Who's beefed out with other black men? Not to be on the black on black crime, but let's even take it here. The vast majority of musical content or entertainment content that black men create, straight black men, usually has to do with flexing on, competing with, or killing other black men. I'm just saying, what did Beyonce say? Bring the beat in, baby, it's you. Y'all might be the problem, and your issue might actually be with black people in general. And this also might be why you guys are obsessed with the idea of having kids that don't look like you. Because you think if you can distance yourself from black offspring, maybe you won't be black. And maybe if you can project it onto black women, you won't be the problem. Because for me, it's the way y'all could lose your entire memory and still wake up and remember to talk trash about black women. And don't get me wrong, I'm team love is love. If you find love wherever, I'm happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But why are you talking about black women? Why do y'all have whole podcasts, whole platforms dedicated to talking about the women y'all don't like? Right, because y'all are anti-black. I know y'all not going to, but maybe y'all should sit back, think, and reflect. Maybe I just don't like black people.
Well done.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm not think so. I know so. They don't like blackness. They don't like their blackness, and they don't like being reminded that they're black. And when they see other black people, they're reminded that they're just as black as other black people. They're reminded that they're seen just as any other black person. You can get as lost as you want to on your offspring and the offspring of your offspring, but guess who's still going to be the spot in the picture? You are.
Right.
You'll never erase your blackness. You're still going to be black. And if you don't accept that, nobody will ever be able to accept you.
There's so many men that don't like women, but they're sexually unattracted to men, and they have no choice but to deal with you. And they act like it, don't they? Like, these men don't like women for real. They don't bond with women. They don't emotionally connect with women. They prefer to be around men. They respect men. They get along with men. They see men as their equals. They do not view you as it. But the only reason they're with you is because they're not sexually attracted to the men. If it wasn't for sex or power, they wouldn't be with you. I need y'all to watch out for these men. Like, actually, like, inquire about whether this man actually like women. Not if you're heterosexual. My question to you is, do you actually like women?
That brother was actually speaking facts there. They are called incels, and the black community is filled with them.
Pause.
In the black manosphere are all.
They're not incels. I
No.
understand black angry biracial, but they're not incels. A lot of them are still sleeping with women. So according to their own definition, they're not incels. But they do hate women, period. And again, just like he said, if it wasn't for sexual access, they wouldn't even be with women, period. If they could be with trans and those trans look feminine and they were free to do that without judgment, they would be with those dudes. Point blank, period.
Almost every one of their podcasts is filled with men who hate women. It's filled with men who love the presence of other men, who surround themselves with other men, who love to bash and degrade women because they don't like women. They don't like being surrounded by women. They don't like the presence of a woman. To me, they just seem kind of a little bit confused sexually, because you can't say you're a straight man, but then you don't like women. Come on now. But you see more and more of these men every single day. And you see these men subscribing to these male podcasts that are bashing and degrading women all day, especially women that look like them. I mean, I just did a video on this brother, but check out what he had to say.
I learned from my experience that there are vast, in the black community, there is a large number. Yet I can't speak for white folks, I can't speak for Hispanics or Japanese, or I can tell you all about black folks. I can tell you a lot about black men. There's a large group of black men who identify as straight, but under certain circumstances, under certain situations, they would have sex with a man or sexual contact with another black man.
And that was a gay black man that was saying that from his experiences. This explains a lot of the hate and vitriol a lot of these Canes have for black women. I mean, it's 2023. Just come out the closet already. If you're attracted to men, just say you're attracted to men. Stop unaliving black women because you're sexually frustrated and confused. Stop abusing and hurting and using black women to hide yourself because you're sexually frustrated and confused. Misogyny and femicide is at an all-time high because these Canes are not being true with themselves. I love women. Any man that hates women is suspect.
Mothers are literally the worst parents on the entire planet. That's the
Wait a
first
minute,
thing.
wait a minute, DJ.
Statistics
Wait.
back that. So 70.
Can you play Pretty Blacks?
You got
And
it.
then
Hold on
play
one
this
second.
one. Strumming and Wrenching says, dang right, Gemini. As I said in a feedback on these black incels, get them a Holly dolled up Thai ladyboy, pseudo effeminacy without the fear of them getting pregnant. Exactly. They would definitely do it.
Wait, hold on one second. Okay, hold on one second.
But they love talking about black women. They love talking about black women's hair, makeup, eyelashes. Why are they so focused on the beauty aspects of a woman as opposed to her intellect, her character, everything else that they could focus on about a black woman, but they're always focused on beauty. Why is that? They're always focused on the superficial things that don't make a woman really a woman. Because I think they're envious because they can't wear makeup and wear heels and dress like a woman. I think they really want to embody us on so many levels. They want to truly rest in our femininity. And we can't hear it, DJ.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, let me try it over one more time. Hold on one second. Okay, let's see if you can hear it this. Wait, my bad. Hold on.
Prism, they do need to support gay men. Maybe a lot of them will become more comfortable with themselves and not be so frustrated. It's still very, very low. Can't hear it.
Okay.
It's still low. Okay, start it over, DJ. Start it over.
Okay.
Turn it up as loud as
Are you gay? I'm bisexual. Are you top or bottom? I'm a top, dom top, aggressive top. Can you describe what dom top means? Dom top means, which means I grab you by your back and neck, push your face down, ass up, and fuck the shit out of you, and have you walk crazy for days. Walk crazy for days. Crazy for days, which means you be real sore and you be calling me on the phone. Daddy DeMarco, I need help. I'm sore. Give me some Tylenol. That's what that means. All right. Honestly, I don't think I can handle it, but I appreciate your honesty. I know you can't handle it. I can tell the way you walk, you can't handle it. My dick is big. They call me King Kong in my pants. I know you can't handle it, but I'll make sure I go real gentle with you. Keep you cute. Thank you so much. I like it gentle. All right? I got you. Thank you so much. I cannot kiss, though. You cannot kiss? No, I have a boyfriend. He has a boyfriend. I got a husband. What does that mean? You didn't see the engagement ring on my neck? It was the program. My name is DeMarco Swimming, all right? Period. Thank you again. Holla. It's a pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. You're awesome.
Now that's super aggressive. Like this dude was super aggressive, and who was he talking to? He wasn't talking to another black man. Who was he talking to?
He was talking. I mean, he was
A
talking.
zaddy?
Yeah,
Was he talking to a zaddy?
he was talking to a zaddy.
Wait, so
You know,
they're pushing over. See, they're angry with black women for divesting and getting what they wanted because they all along wanted a zaddy. So when you hear these black men talking about zaddy, because what man calls another man a zaddy? What man does that?
right, right.
So when you hear a
Good
black
point.
man refer to another white man as a zaddy, you better believe they're mad at you for getting what they wanted.
Exactly. I mean, basically, what's going on is that black men are not only jealous. Black men are not only jealous that of black women, they're jealous of black women getting zaddies before they can get zaddies. So,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Let's see what this dude has to say right here. Here we go.
Mothers are literally the worst parents on the entire planet. That's the first thing. And statistics back that. So over 70% of young men that grow up under a single mother in particular, end up in prison. And because the reason why so many of us are messed up is because we were all, or most of us were raised by women, which are the worst parents on the entire planet, statistical wise.
You see how aggressive he was with that. Do you see how he said that with his entire chest, as if he was spouting out something so philosophical? Like he just came with all this knowledge and in the name of statistics and data. But let's watch her break it down.
Oh boy, I don't know about y'all, but I am skeptical of a dude who is wearing janky ass transition sunglasses indoors while he says something as outrageous as single mothers are the worst parents on the planet.
She's speaking
without
facts.
questioning, I don't know, how women became single mothers in the first
Well,
place.
she's a preference.
And also saying something like, that's just the fact, statistical wise. Not really inspiring a whole lot of confidence in the validity of his argument. But just in case you're not convinced that this isn't the biggest pile of horseshit, let me really take a moment to eviscerate this argument for all of you. So first, let's get into the basics before we even get to the numbers. I guarantee you that the type of dudes who go off about single mothers being terrible hold two core beliefs. The first is that women are responsible for getting themselves pregnant. And no, I'm not talking about immaculate conception, but I am talking about the misogynistic viewpoint that argues that women should be virginal or less free with their sexuality so that they wouldn't get themselves into this kind of situation in the first place. And the second is that women are responsible for not choosing a better partner with whom to procreate. Again, if they were more selective and less willing to sleep around than men, they would have a better chance of finding an upstanding gentleman with whom to parent. So what do these beliefs have in common? It's that they remove fathers from the equation entirely.
Ain't that the truth? I mean, takes the whole, it takes all the responsibility and puts it on the mother, except for thinking about the omission of what happened to the father.
There is no call for...
I want to get her to get to the facts, though.
Gotcha.
Accountability for men who leave, and the men that shirk responsibility for caring for their children. There is no recognition that it is men who create the condition of single motherhood. And because we've grown up in a patriarchal, sexist society that is rooted in the idea that child rearing is fundamentally the woman's sphere, and that most women are to blame for men's bad behavior, that we are so quick to place the burden on single mothers here. It's why we more often say single mother instead of absent father or fatherless family. It's why a woman in Texas was indicted by a grand jury in the deaths of her two daughters because she let them get in the car with their father, who later crashed and killed them and was found to be under the influence of alcohol. And it's automatically why we think every serial killer does what they do. Charles Manson's mom didn't love him enough, so he created a cult and went on a killing spree. No sympathy for Mommy Dearest, who was a 15-year-old child that got impregnated by a 24-year-old man who lied about being a colonel in the army.
Okay, I want that to sink in. Charles Manson's mother was 15 years old. 15.
went on a killing spree. No sympathy for Mommy Dearest, who was a 15-year-old child that got impregnated by a 24-year-old man who lied about being a colonel in the army and then said he had to leave for army business but never returned. And as for the arguments that this dude makes statistics-wise, there are a few things to note here. If we look at data from the Justice Department in their survey of inmates from federal and state correctional facilities, we'll find that 47% of convicted criminals report growing up in a single-parent household, and 41% of them say.
So 47% report being in a single-parent household. Not 70%, 47%. 41% were raised solely by their mother. Keep going.
Oh, you might want to look at this Orlando.
No, keep going.
Gotcha.
Say they were raised solely by their mother. And that's a far cry from 70+%. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, there are over 13.5 million single parents raising over 21 million children in this country. 80% of those parents are mothers. So because mothers are doing the majority of the child rearing, they're overrepresented when we try to study the patterns. Of course, there will be more children raised by single mothers who are convicted criminals because there are more children raised by single mothers, period. And if we look at results from longitudinal historical analyses, what we find is that a sizable portion for criminality can be attributed to other factors like low parent education, racial inequality, and poverty. Single moms are one of the most disadvantaged groups in the US. 30% live below the poverty line. You could also point out that 99% of criminals drank apple juice as a kid. But we wouldn't be up in arms about removing apple juice from kids' diets because apple juice doesn't have the same negative cultural narrative around it that single motherhood does. And we should note that not only do men like to peddle this narrative to serve their own ends and further misogyny, but Republican lawmakers and religious zealots love it too, because it helps push GOP stories about welfare queens and restricting access to public safety nets to help maintain systemic racial inequality and feed the prison industrial complex. And it's let the nutty Christians talk about how the key to solving all problems is a return to traditional family values, where the woman stayed at home and the man was the breadwinner. And gay and trans people are either treated like criminals or animals or like they don't exist at all. So don't let people spouting this garbage go unchecked, y'all.
Okay, so what she talked about with what this guy was saying. See, the thing about these Negalites is that they don't understand statistics, they don't understand correlation, they don't understand data analysis, they don't understand sample size, they don't understand variables, they don't understand anything that goes into the making of statistical data. And so what you will have is them making correlations and then presenting it as facts. So what you said about the apple juice, 99% of kids drink apple juice. So 99% of the people that are in prison are in prison because they drank apple juice as a kid. It's the same thing for them saying single mothers are the reason why these guys are in prison. You can't make, that's a correlation. That's just like, I can make a correlation of saying ice cream causes cancer, more cancer during summer months. Of course, I could say that because what happens in the summer? People eat ice cream, more ice cream, right? So I can make a correlation out of anything. So you have these guys that wander around the universe, universe, and say these things. And these idiots, like the one, who's talking big noise in the chat, will repeat and sound like asinine idiots because there is no correlation. And the reason it's not a correlation, and the reason why you can't say mothers are the worst parents on the planet, mothers are the ones that give birth. So if mothers were the worst parents on the planet, why aren't fathers stepping in and being fathers so that the children won't be so bad? Where is that responsibility? I'm listening. Strum, welcome to the panel.
Hey, thank you, Gemini.
Hey, Strum, how's your weekend going so far?
It's good so far. Day off. I mean, I have to work tomorrow though.
I hear that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Some
Yes, sir.
Saturdays, I mean, at least the traffic will be okay, you know. Anyway,
Absolutely.
you know.
You wanted to share something, Strumming?
Oh, yeah, you're asking the question why guys focus so much on the beauty instead of how intellectual or how or what can the woman offer. I think a lot of it's a little ego thing. Like I know when I was young, I was guilty of it. I wanted the most beautiful Hispanic girl back in middle school instead of the one that's a little geeky and nicer, and she's like that baddie and whatnot.
No, that's not what I was saying.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about the way these guys focus so much on that
On
as a
beauty.
tool to be
Oh, okay.
to castigate and be abusive towards women. Not so
Oh,
much as that's what they're focusing on because that's what they are attracted to. That's what they
okay.
focus on and they stay stuck on when they talk about black women is the hair, the makeup, the eyelashes, all those types of things is what they focus on, as opposed to focusing on the other things that actually make a woman a woman.
And also their preferences does that too. They had the lashes and this and that, or on social media doing all the twerking and stuff. But they're not gonna say anything.
Right,
All
you're
right.
right. Because they will excuse all of their actions away. They will excuse their actions away until until they're bleeding. Like they will say, "Oh well, white women wear weave that's closer to their hair." Well, black women wear weave that's closer to their hair too. And white women wear lashes. Hispanic women wear lashes.
Oh
All
my
women
gosh,
wear
yes.
wigs and lashes. All women do it, but it's a problem because black women are doing it.
Yeah.
All right. In the house, we have Vonda, we have Charwilly, we have Prism, we have Camo, we have Orlandus, we have Columbus Hill, and none other than Chester.
Oh, we have someone who's just so green in the chat. He says, no, they don't. Oh, poor thing. I'm going to do a compilation of all the white women who wear weaves, wigs, and eyelashes, and all the Hispanic women who do so that these deniers can have a come to Jesus moment with themselves because they just don't believe it. Oh.
The best source is go to Instagram. It's there 24/7.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? May I add that those women that we're talking about that are non-black, Hispanic, that all the lashes and stuff like that. Those are the women that those guys prefer, and they get mad that she's not choosing them. That's why, because she's not choosing them. That's why they get their passports and go overseas and pay for play.
You nailed it, Strum. That's the funny thing is that, see, the problem these guys have is they're not chasing after average at best women. I mean, think about it. They self-incriminated themselves as far as saying that they really want a wholesome woman when they started shaming a woman for her looks. You know what I mean? Saying average at best, saying, oh, well, she's just a 6, numbering women like that, instead of saying, wow, how's her personality? How's her character? Do we have things in common? See, that's how we did it back in the old days,
Exactly.
So it's funny how they want to redo everything and then try to blame what they want to do is, but what they're doing, they're not what they want to do. What they're doing is blaming Instagram models for their failure in dating because they want one and they can't get one.
Yes, exactly.
This is Nazir Johnson. He's 20 years old, and he was recently murdered by his boyfriend, who was down low because he didn't want Nazir to tell anybody about their relationship. This is the boyfriend, Kylan Pratt, also 20 years old, from Philadelphia, in custody currently because allegedly he shot the boyfriend in the neck and then burnt his corpse alive and then took it down a trail and disposed of it. Now we lost 2 Black kings because he's gone and he's probably going to be incarcerated for the rest of his life.
What was that comment you had about Black Kings? I mean, I see one maybe, but I think really the king card gets pulled if you're committing crimes. That's how I see it.
Therefore, making the situation that they're involved with anybody with unsafe. Young Butch Queens, leave these kind of men alone. Please, I don't want to see none of y'all coming up missing no more. I'm so tired of it.
Somebody wants to. Now, here's the weird thing. these men do the same to women.
Yes, but he did it to keep it secret. They do it to those types of men, and why they're still so dangerous to one another is because he didn't want his secret out. And this is a young dude. These were both young, like in early 20s. So just imagine. I mean, there was a case where a dude was cheating on his, I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend, and threw the side chick out the window
Wow.
and killed her. So yeah.
No value for life, that's for sure.
They do not value life at all. And that's why it's dangerous to be in proximity with them.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the
How to spot a big booty gym girl. Oh no, she's stuck. Gym safety is key. How to spot a big booty gym boy. Oh no, he's stuck. I saw this mom at the beach struggling to reach the bar. She asked me to help lift her up. I'm helping mom stay fit.
Wait, pause. Wait, can you see her? Rewind a little bit. Wait, please don't tell me she had a BBL. I thought they didn't get BBLs.
Everything is plastic, synthetic on her.
That's a BBL. That's a BBL.
I think she's the type that guys would kill over for.
Yeah, you're right. See, this is who they want. Or this is who they want them to become. This is it. So that scam about saying that feminine, friendly, and submissive and a housewife, she don't look like she does much housewifing to me. Wait, look, Sigma's in love. Sigma, you in love, huh? Chester, you should come up and talk and talk to us.
I'm back with another triggering topic.
Wait a minute,
now.
and I want you to notice that dude, every time you see a video of that black dude, who's featured? Is it a zaddy or what? Who's featured?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, a zaddy. You know, it was funny. Somebody was making comments about zaddies the other day. But black men love zaddies and female zaddies, if that's a definition. So here we go.
I don't know if y'all saw my last video where I talked about Corey Holcomb and how he admits to cheating on his wife and that he's the only one that can step out on the marriage and whatnot. Now, on that video, I got a lot of men upset, a lot of men mad at me because I stated that women shouldn't accept that type of behavior and that he's not a good husband or a good man. Well, let me tell y'all something. This man right here, and y'all can see the comment on the screen. This man right here, YBC the Nerd, commented to explain why it's okay for a married man to cheat. Now, if you notice here, he said that most men are attracted to women of all ethnicities and races, and you can't become those women, so you can't fully sexually satisfy a man by yourself. Now, keep in mind, he said a lot more. He made a million more comments, but this is the comment that I really want to address. And you know what? I have so much to say about this, and I really have an epic read for this man. But you know what? Before I do that, let me show y'all a clip of this man, and I'll be right back.
Now this might not be accurate, but what I think happened, I used to work for
Now, what this person was talking about in his video was unimportant, really. I just wanted you to see him. And looking at this man, he's actually like a representative of the majority of the men in the manosphere. They aren't living in reality. Now, I don't know what world they're living in, but it's certainly not planet Earth. Now, this man is clearly unattractive and looks like he spends his nights alone on the Xbox and viciously pumping a fleshlight filled with Astroglide. And he's on the internet talking about women not being able to fully sexually satisfy a man by themselves. Excusez-moi? Come again? Looking the way you do, you actually think that a woman would be sexually satisfied by you? Looking like the last time you used lotion or washed your face was in 2009? I mean, really. The manosphere is truly filled with men who hold women to standards that if those standards were reversed, they could never achieve. Not a snowball's chance in hell. And then they are weaponizing marriage or having a man. What is the purpose of being married or having a man if that means that you have to put up with disrespect? If you have to put up with your husband telling you that you're not enough and you can never fully satisfy him? He gets to have all his fun and all the things are on his terms while you have to swallow all of your feelings, emotions, wants, needs, and desires. What is the purpose in doing that? So that you can go 50-50 with someone? Or even if they pay all the bills, wouldn't you rather have your dignity, self-worth, and respect and pay your own bills and take care of yourself? Women do not need men like this. Women do not need manosphere men. They are a hindrance. They are not the ones to have a relationship with, to marry, to have children with, nothing. Now, they tell you that your life is less than because you don't have them in it. Lies, lies. Their lives are less without you in it, and they know that. They want you, but they want to have you with no effort and on their terms. They want the bar for them to be set in hell. They feel like if they gaslight you enough and tell you how worthless that you are without them, that you'll have no choice but to have them. But not on my watch. There's not a good man. There's not a decent man. There's not a man worth having or a man worth keeping and marrying, making comments like this. And when you see the men that are the bargain basement bandits that are 50% off on clearance and no woman will still have them, you already know that you have to take everything that they say with a grain of salt. I'm sorry, y'all. My rant's over. But anyway, if y'all watch this video, leave an 11 in the comments. And if you can't donate to my Cash App above to help me get my podcast popping, then that's no problem at all. Just please do me a free favor and subscribe to my YouTube. The link is in my bio. Hit the notification bell, drop me a like, and as always, drop your thoughts down below.
All right.
That's sponsored by You're Triggered. What's so funny to
Absolutely.
me is this, DJ. Just think, if all Black women took Black men's advice, hear me out. If all Black women took Black men's advice that they're spewing and became fit, quote unquote, feminine and submissive, those men would not qualify for women.
Right.
So they're telling the women to do all the things that would disqualify them as being a good mate for them. Because guaranteed, if the woman is fit, feminine, friendly, and she's doing all those things to get a man, guess who she's not choosing?
There it is. Exactly that.
How to tell if a man is down low, part two. Since my last video got a lot of views and a lot of traction, I want to give you guys a part 2.
Okay. Hey, Chester, this is for you.
On how to tell if a man is down low. So I peeped this more recently, all right? So let me get y'all together with this one. It's really, really interesting. Sad thing is, I only think openly gay men can find this one to be relatable. So watch this. At my last job, it was this dude, right, who was always talking to me. I never made advances to him. I never wanted to talk to him either. But he just wanted to talk to me for no reason. And he will always ask me this question almost every week. Hey, PJ, where the hoes at? Sir, I am clearly openly gay.
Chester. Who was that? Was that you? You asked. Oh, you said just pearly things.
Oh, I thought he
Thumbnail.
wanted me to put the picture of him up.
Oh man, shoot. My bad. I'm gonna take responsibility. You know, I'll take responsibility. Yeah.
Since my last video got a lot of views and a lot of traction, I want to give you guys a part 2 on how to tell if a man is down low. So I peeped this more recently, all right? So let me get y'all together with this one. It's really, really interesting. Sad thing is, I only think openly gay men can find this one to be relatable. So watch this. At my last job, it was this dude, right, who was always talking to me. I never made advances to him. I never wanted to talk to him either. But he just wanted to talk to me for no reason. And he will always ask me this question almost every week. Hey, PJ, where the hoes at? Sir, I am clearly openly gay. Why are you asking me where the hoes at? Until I put 2 and 2 together and found out that's like the down low man's mating call. Why are you asking me where the hoes at? Clearly, I'm the hoe. If you want the bunana, just say that.
That was a cut.
So you see what they do. They pretend even with other black men. So he knows this dude is openly gay, but he's asking him, where are the women at? Where are the women at? And he said, until I put 2 and 2 together and figured,
wow.
I'm it. I'm the one.
All right. In that house, Vonda. In that house, A Lady. In the house, Prism. In that house, Chester. Better known now as King Sigma. In the house now, Vonda. In the clouds, I know. There's Camel right there. Camel's right here. What did Camel say?
I call her Camosita.
Yeah.
I make her Mexican.
Yeah. Mr. DJ Music in the house. HT Bold One is in the house. Oh, yeah. We got a party going on right now. Here we go.
Be careful for safety if you haven't done this before.
Sale. Me next year.
Oh,
On a real note, you know, a lot of them can't get hired in zoos. They can't get hired in mortuaries. They can't get hired in a lot of places because they're abusing corpses and they're abusing animals. Real talk. You can skip the 7 minutes and 12 seconds.
I'm sorry, say again?
7 minutes and 12 seconds.
Oh, this is 3 hours, huh? 7, 12. Okay. Where is it at? Okay, I'll start it right here. By the way, in that house, Tiff, it's good to see you back in the groove. Everybody, Tiff's in the house, Prism's in the house, Kitten's in the house, Vonda's in the house, Prism's in the house. Here we go.
Oh, it's much forward as you can go because we don't want to listen to their music.
Okay. Right, is it right here?
Yeah, right there is fine.
Okay.
Question. So we promote marriage, we promote relationships for men. That's what we're about. We think that it's the
Oh,
backbone
this nigga.
of our society, so on and so forth. But is it unrealistic for men to marry for the idea of love? And I ask this because women become men's weakness. The woman most men love becomes his weakness. It's what you alluded to earlier, Tyrese saying that he still loves this woman who is, obviously trying to screw him over. So is the
Pause.
idea of love for a man?
You see how they always wrap everything around the woman as if she's responsible for his manhood. Like she's responsible for girding him up. She's responsible for keeping him on the straight and narrow. The woman is ever so responsible for everything as it pertains to the man. Like she's solely responsible for his existence and him being able to do a good job when he goes to work or being able to be a father. The woman kept me from being a daddy. The woman kept me from getting this job. Like, do they not hear how weak they sound? How
No.
effeminate they sound? They emasculate themselves.
No, they don't know. They honestly don't know. I saw a lot of feminine energy yesterday in a chat room I was in. What's funny is that the one thing I've noticed about a lot of us black men is we love the posture and pretend, and that's what's going on here in this video here. This guy has no doctorate or nothing. This man right here has no doctorate or anything qualification.
Come on,
to
DJ.
give.
Most of them don't, but they have a lot to say. Most of them have barely graduated high school, but they have a lot to say. Most of them don't even have an associate's in psychology, but they have a lot to say. Most of them aren't statisticians. They barely passed math, but they have a lot to say about statistics. And ignorant men follow behind them and repeat these statistics all over the universe as if they're facts. And they look incredibly ignorant and weak. So much so that white people have taken to the internet to correct them. And they still don't understand. And they still aren't shamed by it.
All right. Welcome to the stage, Camo.
Hey, everybody.
Hola, Camosita.
Hey, how are you? So, what I noticed is that these are men that are well into their middle age. And I don't understand. Like, what are they doing? Like, it's too late. Just stay single. Because at this point, you're an older man. Like, I don't know what is like. Is there some type of delay or what is going on? Like, you should have been figured this out or tried to figure it out a long time ago. And it started a family or something. But these are middle-aged men. Like, what is going on? And I mean, both of them have like a look that's already like they've been like they've been running around, and then now you want to figure out dating. It's a no. But I came up here to tell y'all something else though, like some tea. So tell me why I be doing Instacart, right? So this girl, this woman, apparently she's a woman. I took her order and it was like some cookies or something, and she was like, I was wondering why she kept messaging me because it was weird. It just didn't seem normal. And she was like, yeah, these cookies are for my husband, and he because I live in a military town, like a lot of military people. So apparently he's here, in the military, and she's somewhere else, and she's sending him cookies because it's Father's Day. Like, I guess because she couldn't be here and it's Father's Day weekend or something, right? So I was like, okay, like I don't need like a whole story. I'm just gonna go pick this up and drop it off. I mean, that's nice though. This happens all the time. And I didn't say much. I was like, oh, okay. And then that was it. And then I got everything. And when I was on the way to the house, oh my God, I feel so bad. I actually feel bad for this woman. When I was on the way to the house, she asked me to knock on the door. And then I put everything together. I was like, this is why this is not normal. In reality, she's checking up on this man. I knocked on his door and he was not there. I felt so bad because she's there waiting for me to respond. Like, she wants to experience all of this because the order was, for Jamal Aleem, some whatever his name is. So we know what that means. We know who he is. And we already know who Jamal is and what he's doing. And he wasn't there. He didn't open the door, and I had to tell her, like, he's not answering. I was like, he's not answering the door. And she was like, okay, it's okay. And I just was like, wow, that's crazy. I was in the military, so I know what that's like. I don't know what it's like for a woman, that is married to someone, but I had a spouse, and I saw a lot of things, in the military involving like relationships. But to have to go that far, first of all, women is creative as I don't know what. Like, she really did that. I'm not gonna lie. She found a way, the cheapest way to get a spy. And she was like, yeah, he not home. Like I thought. Hey, Gemini, that is dope. I don't want to
wait. It's not funny, but it is funny because you said the
It
cheapest way
is
to get a
funny.
spy.
She found like she really played me. Like, why I keep getting played by these people? Why these women? I think I'm too soft. I think that's what it is. I'm getting played out here by these women. I didn't got my money taken by what's her name over there. I'm gonna have to. I don't know, but yeah, I was just like, yo, like I couldn't, like it had me stuck for a minute. I was like, wow, it's that bad. It is
And
bad when
what's
you have to
crazy
live.
was he probably told her he would be at home, or he didn't feel good, or
Yes.
something crazy he probably told her. What time of the day was it?
It's right now.
Oh, so like
You
what
know what
time
time
is
it
it?
is here?
No.
Girl, I don't even want to say it because it's so bad. Like, it's 10:44.
Oh my God.
You're in the
Wow.
East Coast.
And he's
Yes.
not there.
The
I
sunshine for me.
mean,
I'm
No.
in Cali.
I'm still sitting in front of his in front of his house because I'm kind of stuck a little bit. Like, I was just like, I put my head down. Like, I had to, you know, I was like, sis, I mean, this is all through text. I wish I could talk. I could have talked to her, but I was just like, this ain't my business. Like, I can't. It's just sad. Like, can you imagine going through all of that to like? That's this.
Well,
This is,
actually, in
what this.
all actuality, Camo, she already knew. All you did was confirm what she
You know
already
what
knew.
this woman, like, because I was just like, okay, this woman had me go get some cookies and a Gatorade and was like, yeah, but she was explaining herself. So I was like, why is she explaining herself? I thought it was a white woman, to be honest, and it might be. I know that the man is not white, but she may be. I don't know. But I thought maybe she just was a chatty patty or something. But what it was is she knows she's doing something off and odd, and it's probably her first time doing it. So she wanted to seem normal by explaining herself. Because I'm like, why is this woman explaining this to me?
Cause
Like,
it's
what
just
is
like criminals. Criminals will people, new criminals will just tell you everything that has nothing to do with nothing, and you're just sitting there like, what does this have to do with anything? Because they're nervous, so they're trying to explain away their actions to normalize it when everybody around them knows that it's not normal. So she already knew what was going on, and to be quite honest, it could have been that wasn't even her man. It could have been she thought he was married, so she had you show up to the house just in case he was married. I mean, it could be all kinds of things
So
going on with that.
I'm just trolling as always. Like, when I first started it, well, you know what? I ain't even gonna say nothing. Or Lance, you actually right, because you call all of y'all pookies, and you are correct. This is a high earning military pookie that's doing this to his wife. So you know what? I was about to check you, but I can't. This one I agree on you. He is a pookie. This is pookie behavior. So you are correct. He is a pookie. But that's, most of you are pookies. But most of you have this mindset because this is pookie culture. And you know what? I'm not even going to say just black men, because white men do stuff like this too. It's just the whole thing that, like, this whole situation was just so weird. People are getting weird with everything these days. Like, the whole funeral for what's his name, DC Young. Like, this is some weird things going on in the world right now. Like, with these couples, this woman, like, literally broke the code on how to, like, catch your man cheating. I mean, I'm gonna have to write.
Tiff said,
Listen, ladies. Listen up, ladies. Make sure y'all remember this. Instacart, DoorDash, all of that.
Oh no, don't do
Yeah.
that. Do not do that because you be setting somebody up to get hurt with these niggledites. You might be
Girl,
hurting
this man,
somebody.
I'm still outside of his house.
Girl, you
He
better
did
move
not
your
open
car.
that door.
You better
I'm
get.
about to
You better
leave.
move your
I'm about
car.
to leave. I'm about to leave. Girl, he was like, it wasn't a peep in there. You couldn't even hear peep. It was like, he probably was like, be quiet,
And
be
he's
quiet.
probably still looking out the window wondering why you're still sitting there. So if I were you, I would
Girl,
be gone.
let me leave before something suspicious. Before
Yeah,
he
you're right.
Tiff said it's 10 p.m. Do you know where Jamal is?
that's wild, bro.
Oh man,
Whew,
that's
Lord
spot on.
Jesus Christ. I was just like, what in the world? I was like, no, she didn't put me in this.
Man, yeah, she
It
put you
would
in
be
it.
me.
She put you in it.
Yes. Girl, he was like, I'm not answering that door for you. Get the fuck away from the door.
So yeah,
Cause I was tapping. I hit the ring, the ring button, like the camera. Then I hit the clacker thing. It was like nothing. I had to put the
You better
cookies
be
on the
careful,
ground.
Camo. People getting blasted in
yeah.
front
I'm
doors.
leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get some shout outs out of the way real quick. Heathen Queen is in the house. Melanated Vessel is in the house. Mr. DJ Music is in the house. Strum, well, he's on stage and in the house. We have Vonda in the house. We have Chester in the house. We have Prism in the house. A Ladies in the house. Whew. Did I miss anybody? King Lucifer, he's in the house. She's in the house. We got everybody up in here. Everybody. And Tiff is in the house. I'm good. I'm happy to see Tiff back up in here.
Roll that footage.
Got it.
And unrealistic. And if it is, then what is beside business, what's a good reason for a man to pursue marriage?
Well, the reason for a man to pursue marriage is to give it's a selfless service. I look at it as a selfless service. And the service is primarily towards your child. And the child, and with the intention of having the child raised correctly, so that you can continue to build something, as a race or as a group.
Is he making this shit up as he talks or what?
Exactly. And I want you to specifically pay attention. He said the purpose of marriage. Now, let's be reminded that these men, by and large, have created single parents all across everywhere that they deem to go. Because contrary to what these Neglodites are saying, it's more than 15% or 20% that's populating the Black demographic. So they're already creating children wherever they go. So they're not concerned about marriage, period, as it pertains to creating children and a so-called legacy to continue their name. And I want you to also pay close attention to the fact that he just alluded to there's no reason to marry because it's not for the companionship of a woman. Because he didn't mention women at all, did he?
Nope. Not one bit. It's like it sounds like, I keep thinking that this is going to be a Saturday night live skit or something, and there's a punchline coming up.
But take it back a little bit so that we can get the gist of the whole thing he was saying.
Got it.
Yeah, that's what we're about. We think that it's the backbone of our society, so on and so forth. But is it unrealistic for men to marry for the idea of love? And I ask this because women become men's weakness. The woman most men love becomes his weakness. It's what you alluded to earlier, Tyree saying that he still loves this woman who is, obviously trying to screw him over. So is the idea of love for a man unrealistic? And if it is, then what is beside business, what's a good reason for a man to pursue marriage?
Well, the reason for a man to pursue marriage is to give it's a selfless service. I look at it as a selfless service. And the service is primarily towards your child, and the child, and with the intention of having the child raised correctly, so that you can continue to build something, as a race, or as a group, as a people, and the love is a connection that comes between you and a woman and a child, but also you have love for your kind, your ethnicity, your culture, your people, your ancestors, your tribe, your family. It's a historical thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody thinks about tribe or family like that anymore. Not the way he's trying to put it.
Not at all. Now he says a selfless. See, the thing about it is, if it was a selfless service, there wouldn't be so many young men and women running around without father figures. So
Right.
obviously it's not a selfless service. And what he's saying is, yes, it's selfless. So they're creating this idea that the fact that they don't control their ejaculations inside women is somehow selfless. They're giving themselves to a woman is somehow selfless. Like they're doing the woman a service by impregnating her, and it's a selfless act. If you don't miss me with this cosplay.
It's not solely based on, the transactions you get between a man and a woman sexually, emotionally, and all that, physically, stuff like that. But it's deeper, you know what I'm saying? So it is worth it, but it's becoming monetized. It's becoming more swayed towards the business side, like you stated. So whenever it's more swayed towards the business, when it's more leaning towards the business side, then one could argue that it's unrealistic for you to lead off with love, to marry for love. And that's what it appears to be. It appears that, honestly, Sir Hell, I would tell brothers, hey, look, you got to find something else other than love to be married for. There needs to be something else. That can't be the only thread, the only string that's holding you together, because it's a feeling and it could change. I can't tell you how many times me and my wife argue to a point where I'm not gonna say it on live, but
So he has no emotional control. So he's abusive. He just admitted he's abusive.
I mean, he also didn't speak of like his legacy or his lineage in his, being one of the reasons why you get married and have children, and it's to continue your legacy. But I guess if you don't have anything and you have no legacy, then you don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
See, he's talking about the business side, and he's saying it's becoming a business. No, it's becoming women saying they don't want to struggle with the Negro and be at the base of society for all eternity. That's what it's becoming. It's becoming women saying, look, I can go out here and I can work and create a lifestyle that's conducive to being at least a part of society where I'm not struggling. But these men want you to get into relationships. See, it's not the men that love, it's the women that love. And because men can only take one heartbreak in a lifetime, maybe two. They don't ever deal with the heartbreak that women deal with. And they will punish the woman that they eventually end up with because she's not the one that they wanted in the first place.
It changes, and you just got to de-escalate. So what do? Like you have something else to back you. You go, okay, what do we have? We have memories, we have a life together, we have future, we have goals, we have children. So whenever you look at the children, you're able to make a determination like, okay, look, I'm here for more than just you. I'm here for more than just love. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some progression amongst my community, my people. And ultimately, I want to see our community reestablished. And the only way we can do that is strength in numbers. If we don't come together as a community,
hold on, so LaQuinto says you shouldn't say. He's saying men and women make single parents, right? But if women is staying there, if majority of the people who raising the children are women, wouldn't that mean that the father is the one that's absent?
Yes.
Isn't the mother is the one that's staying? Why is it that black men cannot hold their L by themselves? Whenever there's anything to be said, well, women do it too. Will the white man do it too? Like, no. If women are staying and raising the children, How is it their fault that you was not responsible enough to be there with your child or be in your child life? You don't even have to. The relationship could end. That doesn't mean your relationship with your children end, because you can't have your way.
True. Straight up.
Go back just a little bit, DJ. There was a point I wanted to make. I forgot.
Memories. We have a life together. We have future. We have goals. We have children. So whenever you look at the children, you're able to make a determination like, okay, look, I'm here for more than just you. I'm here for more than just love. You know what I'm saying? I want to see some progression amongst my community, my people. And ultimately, I want to see our community reestablished. And the only way we can do that is strength in numbers. If we don't come together as a community,
Okay,
we don't
pause
have any
it.
structure, any class.
When have they been concerned about the community? At what point have they been so concerned about the community that they're doing better? See, it doesn't take family. It doesn't take people being together to form a community. It doesn't take you having to be married to someone to care about the community. And this is a problem that I have, is that Black women, regardless as to whether they're single, whether they have children, whether they're married, they're always concerned about the community. Black men are only concerned about the community in terms of how it benefits them and if it benefits their family. They're very individualistic, but they love to talk about Black women in terms of being single mothers because they themselves are individualistic.
Another thing is, LaQuinto is saying, "Well, y'all choose them. That y'all choose them thing that men do to cope. That Black men are using to cope to not have to take accountability for their actions." People choose people to be with. People choose to come together, and sometimes things just don't work out. I feel like I have to explain that to you as if I'm
No,
explaining it
you
to a
don't.
child,
And no,
and
you don't have
you
to
should
keep
know. You should
explaining it.
already know better. Like,
You
it
don't have
doesn't
to keep
matter.
explaining it, Camo, because you're going to have people who want to come in the chat and distract from what
It's
the
just so
subject is.
annoying. Like, what is wrong with, like, every day I say this, like, what is wrong with them? But I know that something is wrong with them. I know, but I
There's
need
something,
them
it's
to
genetic,
admit
and I don't
something
care
is
what
wrong with
anybody
them.
says, and I don't care how mad people get with me. There's a deficiency in the sequencing of the genes of the Y chromosome of the Black male. It just is what it is. Because the Black women don't have that same issue that Black men have. It's something within that sequencing of that Y chromosome.
All right, I'd like to kick out a shout out to Tomas in the house, Sutton Bell in the house, Alexander Brandon in the house, LaQuinto Fox in the house, Prisms in the house, Melanated Vessel is in the house, A Lady is in the house, Tiff is in the house. We have, okay, that's what we got right now. Yeah.
Let's roll some
So,
more of this so we can get to a point where we can really talk about what they're talking about.
Gotcha.
A common goal, a mutual connection, that we want to achieve as a people. How can we ever reestablish a community when we're divided? When men and women are going astray and we only here for transactional reasons. You get what I'm saying?
I definitely get that. Yeah. So I appreciate you answering that. The reason why I asked it is because it's interesting. Like, Tyrese was one of the guys who've been singing about love his entire career. You know what I mean? Like, his whole career is based off of love and finding this woman. And to see him dealing with it, now I say this to say, I think that so many men have been pumped with the idea of find the woman that loves you. And once you get a man to pursue a woman from that mind frame, he can't really see who she really is. He can't see further than that. And so I think men should pursue wives. I think men should do that. But men should do it with their heads and not with their hearts. Because if they do, they put themselves in a position to get with a woman who gives them just enough to blind them from seeing who she really is. So I really appreciate you answering that.
And that's very interesting. So it's like, if you prioritize love, and that's like your whole
They are so dumb. I
motivation,
can't.
and your whole reason is built on that. That can literally limit you from being able
Again,
to touch other
pause it.
things that may
Again,
be
the responsibility is always laid at the feet of the women. So You can't fall in love with a woman and still this proves their men are logical thing and women are emotional, because he just said, and because love is an emotion, it's an action, it's also action, but love is an emotion. And so there's again saying if a man gets married out of love, then he can't be logical. See, they don't understand that there's a balance. You never hear these idiots talk about the balance between emotions and logic, because you can be both. You can be both emotional and logical. It just is created within you to be. But because they don't understand that dynamic, they don't understand the diversity of who you are as an individual, that you take the full of you into something, because they want to hold something back. They're always into this individualistic thing of what serves them. So they've created this thing where they get to hold something back and not give their all, while they're asking someone else to give their all to them.
It seemed like to me, some of these men, these black men, especially the ones that got mics, that do this dating, talking or whatever. It's something that the one thing that's missing that I noticed that's in other men that these men seem not to understand is that a lot of what they think and say is true for them, meaning that the way that they think as a man is normal. Most men think that way, but that doesn't mean that they act on it, meaning that all of these dating things of these rating women of this and the fives and this and older men want younger women. Other men that I've noticed, other groups of men prioritize family and their lineage, and in their family, I mean, them as men probably think certain things like other men do, but they have self-control and they understand the importance of their family, and they also understand that the consequences that can come with these actions that they have. Not to say that it don't happen, but I do notice that these men lead with that. And Jim, I don't know if you got a chance to see the video Torch and I did the other day, but that's when it comes in when Jordan Peterson was speaking compared to what Kevin Samuels spoke, which was totally different. If you listen, he said none of those things, because none of those things are actually important. And he went in to talk about his relationship and his wife. Whereas that these men talk like they're gonna be teenagers for the rest of their life, and it's really weird and embarrassing. It's really sad. Other groups of men talk about this. I mean, especially white men talk about that thing that they see in black men. A white man asked me today, what is wrong with them? Like, what is wrong with why do they act like that? I was like, I don't know. Like, I've been trying. We're all trying to figure out like what it is that some of these guys like what's going on in their head. I truly don't know why they make some of the decisions that they make. But people notice that not all of you, but a good amount, enough that people can see, notice that there is something wrong. It's like you stop growing at 15 or 16, and you're that mindset for the rest of your life. And it's really embarrassing. And they think that they know. The bad part is, like, when I was looking chats and stuff, and you see men defending this, you'll see past middle-aged men talking this way. And it's just like, where do you get this stuff from? Like, these have to be the men with no fathers. These have to be. Or their fathers just wasn't shit. That's just what it has to be, because no father is going to allow their son to grow up with that mindset. It's no way. No decent man, no decent father will. It's just really ridiculous. Kevin Samuels could not have had a father.
I don't believe he did. I mean, he had a father, but he wasn't there.
Like, it's just really bad. And then to see these older men, black men, this is what they're telling young black men, younger generations of black men. So it's just like an ongoing cycle of degeneracy and craziness. It's just like, sir, you're already married. Like, you're done. You're done. You're done. That's it.
Let's focus on some of these comments. Melanated says these men will publicly admit that if the relationship with the women ends, then all energy towards what they've created comes to an abrupt halt as well. That's not normal, responsible behavior. And then she asks if it stems from plantation, like the connection to your children should be a natural thing. No, I don't think it stems from the plantation at all. We are too far removed from it for it to still be a clutch, um, or any type of excuse for them, because then you're alleviating responsibility, and we keep alleviating responsibility to the men. But what about the women? Um why aren't we affected the same way that these men are as it pertains to slavery? Because again, I'll say it over and over again, Black women were in the field, Black women were raped, Black women had their children removed from them, Black women had the men removed from them. So it would stand to reason that the women would also have a disconnect with children as well, but they don't. So this idea of giving them any type of excuse for their behavior, no, they're base. They're just base.
This going to be my last before I jump down real quick. I want to speak on what you just said. These men, I think Melanated was the one who said it, and she spoke of slavery. I do think that there's a aspect of slavery, but I don't think it has anything to do with being a slave. I think what it is that Black men are still, and I think they do it unconsciously. They want to be the men white men were at that time. We don't live in that time anymore, but patriarchy started around the same time as slavery. So a lot of these ideologies that they have actually come from a different time when they were actually, you know, conquered or whatever. And I think so for some reason they hold on to this, you know, wanting to have this feeling of this power that white men, hold, and held at that time. And that's why if you notice these words that they use is words that was used to slaves. The way that they speak to women in a way that they want to treat women, they want to be able to have that experience of that level of control.
Because they're
But that's
conquered. They're
yeah.
eternally conquered. They're in perpetual conquered, in a conquered mindset. And so again, I've said this too, the only power that they hold is sexual. And most of them still don't even hold that really, but the power that they see that they have is sexual. And that's how they view domination. And that's why you had like the one we showed earlier, that guy being so aggressive, wanting to dominate. I'm a top, I'm a dom, I'll make you walk, da 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 da. And you see how he talked to that? You see how he talked to him? It's aggressive. He trying to, these men, they lack the ability to function as a whole in society. And they only see themselves they only see their power through other people. And so they see that women, Black women especially, and this is why they can't stand to hear a woman say that she's independent, is because they lack that independence. And so when they get with women that are, you notice that a lot of the women that are being unalived are business owners, or women that have started business, created business, and they're successful. And these men attach themselves to that, but they can't recreate that within themselves. And so they have this envy that bubbles over and boils over into hate. And because they can't embody it, they can't carry that on within themselves, they destroy everything around them. They're very destructive. They're extremely destructive.
Yeah. It's definitely it's a case study that needs to be done. I don't know. It needs to be updated because it's still as we advance, they still continue to stay the same, and then they'll still use the same talking points from a different time when you didn't have as many. We progress every day. Are we at a point where we're just 100% equal? No, but we have to keep progressing, and that's the difference between Black women and Black men, is that we continue to carry the torch. As our ancestors fought for freedoms and fought for all these things, we continue to do it. Black men are stagnated and okay with being exactly where they are. And I seen someone write in the comment section, and I guess, like, of course, a Black woman was talking about this, and somebody is talking about, well, yeah, they start, naming Washington Carver and all these, and I'm just like, do you know that we progress every day? Like, every day something is invented. Every day there's some type of change. Like, you have to actually contribute to society. You do know that. Like, you're okay with resting in someone else's legacy.
Yes,
Like, I don't understand that.
They are. Alexander, hi.
Hello, Alexander. Everyone have a good night. I'm gonna jump down and let.
Thank you, Camo.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Camo.
Hi,
Dropping that knowledge again.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm sorry I can't
Alexander.
I'm sorry I can't stay too long because I'm going to be doing I'm going to be going live on my channel real soon. And I'm complex about this because here's the thing. They want Black women to, put a smile on their face. Just go ahead and pretend like everything is okay. But it's not okay. Because as of right now, because I've heard, and I'm doing a story, I'm doing a live about I think it was 4 Black men who unalived a 4-year-old girl in Nashville. That tells me that something is wrong with most of the Black men in the community, and it's their mindset. Yet you have the Black Manosphere who want to blame everyone under the sun except themselves. And I'm like, Black women are supposed to smile and supposed to, pretend like it's not happening, like they're not being unalived, or they're not going missing, or to me it's like Black men want to be coddled. They don't want to be men. They want to be coddled.
All day, every day.
It's the truth. It's the truth, because see, I was on TikTok, and I found Cerebral Stream, and I saw a Black man, a man come into the comments and say, well, he didn't like how Cerebral was telling the story. It's like Black men want Black women to legitimately just tell the news with a smile on their face. Black men are the most entitled men on the face of God's green earth.
They sure are.
And I blame most of it on the Black male worshippers, and the whole Black male worshiping culture. And with that, I'm a head out, and hopefully after I do my live, you'll still be live, DJ.
Thank you, Alexander.
You're welcome.
Welcome, Creative. Welcome, a lady.
Hey, good night, everybody. I just wanted to say, based on his answers and the way he's talking, it sounds like he has never been in a relationship. Like, he has never been in love. Like, he doesn't, like, he sounds inhuman.
Which one are you speaking of?
The one with the glasses?
Oh, I think he's married.
I
Which
know he's married. That's the sad part about it.
yeah.
Because I was on his channel and I was asking him like, why do you say these things and why do you care about other women and what they do with their body? And he said because he's bored. So basically, he used to be in the military, and I guess he's home now, and he's collecting his, VA disability, and he ain't got nothing else to do but to be on these channels and, saying these disparaging things.
So they throw on the monkey suits,
Yes,
and then they just get on and turn on the camera.
exactly. He wants to get in where he fit in. What is it? He's trying to trauma bond with other males. It was same thing
They
with like
commiserate. They
yeah, the thing.
commiserate.
Yeah, same thing with having sex with all these women. That's something that they could share or have in common. Other than that, they don't have nothing much in common.
Well, they don't have anything in common with the rest of society, but they have a great deal in common with one another. And hence the topic, hence the name of the live. They're homoromantic. These women would
Exactly.
rather be in the company of one another 20 hours a day, sleep with women for 4 hours, and then go back to the company of other men.
Basically, you said it just like that. Yeah, I don't know what's mentally wrong with them because I don't understand how you can be like if you in a relationship, shouldn't you want to be in love? Shouldn't that person inspire you? Shouldn't you guys come together and come up with a plan and be excited about each other's days? I don't understand. I don't know what kind of relationship they be in. Every time they talk, sometimes I just be like, I don't know what kind of life they in.
They're in relation because of the way that they view women, because they don't have a realistic idea of what it is to love someone. I'm gonna mute whoever that is. You got background noise going on. Um, they don't have any idea what love is. They really don't. They can't grasp the concept. So, and a lot of them view love as visual. They're visual. Black men are the majority of black men are visual lovers, meaning they are only in love with the outside of the woman and not so much the inside. They only have women for show. It's nothing about the woman that they're truly interested in except for what she does for them. So you have a lot of these disgruntled black men, again, as I was trying to allude to earlier, that had their hearts broken by someone that they really desired. And so in their mind, they're with someone who they really didn't want to be with. And so she's going to be punished for not being that woman, and also punished for what that woman did to him, as far as it pertains to breaking his heart. So they will settle for a woman and make that woman's life miserable. That woman is actually in love with that man, but he's not in love with her. He's with her just because he's settled. And she will never get the full whole of him because he really doesn't love her. He's just with her for convenience.
Yeah.
Hiya, lady.
Oh, I was gonna say one more thing. I feel like if you're in a relationship with these type of men, you're always going to lose because you got to walk on eggshells. You can't fully be yourself.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even if you do anything, if you try to inspire or do anything, they are gonna feel threatened by your success or whatever, any attention that you get outside of them. So it's a no win.
Yes. A lady.
Hello, how are you? How's everyone?
Great.
Are we wrapping up the show now?
No, ma'am.
Oh no.
Okay, good. All right. I didn't get the message, DJ, so I don't know if there's something going on, like the notification. So tell them to get it together over there at YouTube. Okay, great show. I'm listening.
You want to roll some
To
more of this?
hold you together if love actually fails, and you'll just be stuck with that connection and you don't have anything else to be in a marriage for. That's an interesting way to look at things.
But here's the thing. So a lot of men marry a beautiful woman because she adds to his status. But real marriage is not based off of how she bolsters his status. It's really about her service. And if, unless a man finds a woman who comes in with the heart ready to serve her man and to really produce something for his life, he's going to marry wrong. And you will see it, as time goes on, he becomes her come up. And the reason he's her come up is because she was looking for help. She wasn't looking to help. And
So how many women have, and this is, and a lot of times I think Camo said it, somebody else has said it, is they speak from the perspective of other men. They're not speaking from the perspective of Black men, because Black women are not coming up off of Black men. I mean, the data shows it. The data shows that when a Black woman marries a Black man, she does not rise economically. She stays at the same rate, if not lower economically, by marrying a Black man. So how is a Black woman coming up off of them? And see, this is, again, they're talking about a demographic that they're not even in touch with. The only people coming up like that is white women when they marry.
Did you hear what he said? He said about he marries her for the service that she does for him.
I get that. But we'll go over there. But what I wanted to address is mainly the topic of him saying that a woman is coming up by being with them, and we know that for the most part, we're more educated, we're more driven, and we're more career oriented than a lot of these males. So no Black woman, very few Black women are coming up off of the back of Black men. It's just another excuse and another delusion of theirs.
I'm sorry, I mean, you can look at his face and see how defeated he is. He's lying. He's not telling his story.
Right.
It's pitiful.
Go ahead, DJ.
I think it's important for men, especially men of means, to vet women and see how she can be in addition to his life, and not bolster his status, but provide service, because that's what a wife is. She's a helpmate. She's to provide a service to her husband and to her family as well.
They don't understand the term help meet. It's not help mate. It's help meet. And again, if they don't understand the terminology, then they can't get the right definition. Help meet means that she meets where you lack. It means she makes up for the small part, not this huge gap and chasm that we have with Black men. She makes up for the small parts that you're not able to. That's what a help meet is. It's no such thing as a help mate. It's a help meet. And so they have this idea. They're not doing their part. So she's not only being a help meet, she's doing the whole nine. The Black woman is doing everything. And all he's doing is being able to, and they honestly think that this is equal distribution. They go to work, and a lot of them are saying they're working hard, and that's a whole lie. So they're saying they go to work the same amount of hours that the woman goes to work. The woman is raising the children. The woman is feeding the children. The woman is cooking the meals. The woman is cleaning the house. The woman is doing the laundry. The woman is also pleasing this man, and she has to put up with all the emotional and physical and everything else that goes into being married. He believes that he's an equal partner by going to work, taking the trash out once a week, taking the cars, because we know most of these guys are not performing maintenance themselves on cars, taking the cars once a year to be to have maintenance done on them, or once every 6 months to have maintenance done on them. And then on top of that, most of these guys aren't taking their woman's car to be gassed up every week. So they're not even doing that. Women are still responsible for gassing up their own car. So and mowing the grass every 2 weeks if they have a home, which a lot of these dudes don't want, because they don't want that responsibility economically, financially, or any other type of way. So again, these guys have no idea what it is that women do in order to create this family that they're seeking. She's not a helpmate, she's a helpmeet. And the problem is, these types of Black men aren't meeting them. They're not meeting them anywhere except at the bottom, and the women are the ones that have to suffer.
Hey, let me ask you a question, DJ and Jen, anybody who knows. So I heard a definition today of what red pill and blue pill is. Red pill is supposed to mean this is how life really is if you take the red pill, and the blue pill is supposed to be people who are living how they want to, like in a fantasy, and how they think life should actually be. That's what they're how they're living. They're living in the world as it should be. Doesn't that sound like these so-called red pill guys?
Well, that's what it's based on. It's based on the matrix. And what's funny is they say women are caught in the matrix. Well, so are you, because you created this ideology to explain life. Women aren't caught in the matrix. You are, because you're the ones. Women aren't running around, except for one. Other women aren't running around talking about pills that they live by. You guys are. So how is it that women are in the matrix? No, there's only one person that I heard talk about, one woman that I heard talk about a pill, and it's the pink pill. So it's you men that are living in this matrix dynamics that you want to place everybody else in.
Yeah, totally fantasy too.
Yes, and it's very telling. Everything that they do is very telling, because they live their lives through a false lens. Everything is outward. Nothing is inward. They're always seeing things from somebody else's perspective and adopting it when it's not applicable to them.
That makes
I
a
was
lot of
gonna.
sense, and that kind of exposes a
Go
lot of
ahead, creative.
issues that a lot of guys are going.
Okay. I was gonna say, the way he talks about marriage and having the woman supposed to be doing this and making sure she does that. Every time they talk, I get so turned off. Like it seems like it's a whole job. Like just, to be honest, I get so turned off as soon as they start talking about roles and what this person is supposed to be doing and that, and I get so turned off. I don't know. I don't think they understand that. It's like you're supposed to marry a woman when she does this and she's supposed to do that. It doesn't even sound right. It doesn't even, like, it doesn't put, like, it doesn't make that woman, whoever they chose, to be like specifically special for that man or anything like that. It seems like, just get a woman and she's supposed to do this.
Right. I think a good point is this. Black men, we want to bring back misogyny as it was in the 50s, where it was accepted and normal. That's what that's what they're trying to tell you right here. We're just trying to be slick about it. We're just trying to be like, make misogyny not look like misogyny. Make America misogynist again. I'm telling you, that's what we're trying to do. That's what this whole red pill thing is about.
Well,
I mean,
DJ, what's funny is it's society is still very patriarchal and very misogynistic. So to say make it again is as if it went away, and it hasn't. See, what the black man fails to understand, these types of black men fail to understand, is that but they can't move around, they can't operate in the same patriarchy and misogynistic era that other men do, because those other men know how to move in society. They know they've created their own in society. And because these men are so conquered, they can't move that way. And so the only people that they can subject are women and children. And that's all they're seeking. And it's actually it's just baffling that these men always reflect on a time when they would be beaten and lynched and told to sit down and shut up. They always reflect back to that time, not grasping the full enormity of what that time actually was.
well said. I'd like to add on for just 1 second that also, for some reason, black men don't realize that Caucasian men have more leverage over Caucasian women than black men, who we don't have any leverage over black women except that we're men, that we're stronger.
Explain leverage, because I really want you to be very specific and very intentional with your words, because a lot of these guys view leverage as something totally different from what you're saying. So please explain.
Right. What I mean is this: is that Caucasian men are more valuable to the United States as per to other women. Basically, they have the as what black men say. Okay, this is not just Caucasian men saying this. Black men believe this too. They believe that Caucasian men have the pick of whatever women they want, which is technically true. Whether and it's not because they're the best, it's just the way it is. It's not that they're the best men in the world. No, it's just the way it is. So the thing is this: Caucasian men make more money than black men, considerably more. There's more employed than black men. When you have employment and you have value and you have property, and when you buy houses, and remember now, black men, we don't want to buy houses, do we? So what a lot of these red pill black men do not realize is you're giving away your leverage, but you want black women to give you the leverage automatically just because you're black and the black woman's black, and that's it. You don't want to bring anything to the table. So basically you just like a lot of the black men said, that's why they got so incensed with Ebony, because the bottom line is this: they couldn't afford Ebony, even if she was accommodating. That's just too much women for most of the black men. That's just face it, guys. She's too much woman for you. You can call her masculine or whatever like you want. No, back in the day when a woman was in control of herself and in control of her life, the saying was when a man was too weak for somebody like that, she was just too much woman. She wasn't masculine. We referred to it as, wow, she's just too much. That's too much woman for you, man. You know, you working in a Jack in the Box, you know, as, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, but she got it going on. She too much woman. Now for some reason,
I can't let you get that off. If you're a grown man, yes, there is something wrong. When I say grown, I mean a man over 25. If you're working at McDonald's, there is something wrong. I mean, Jack in the Box,
I was just trying to be nice.
I'm not at all. No, there's something wrong with you.
But you see my point. It's like that's what the Kevin Samuels theory, why it's so stupid. What he wants to do is make women that are strong seem masculine, when really it's really, as the label states, it's men who are starting to emulate women, not women emulating men. It's men starting to emulate women. And then what happens is that you have a change in the baseline of what's masculine and what's feminine. Black men, we are getting weaker and weaker by the day. We used to be the strong men. We're not like that anymore. We used to be able to fight and wrestle. We don't do that. We go pow, pow. So now what you have to understand, if you're asking for all these things from a woman, it's probably because you can't provide them. So you're asking for, if you provide for them. If you're asking for submission, it's like, really, bro, you got to understand, can you really can provide perfection?
They can't afford perfection. That's the thing. And it amazes me that they want all of this. Again, like I said before, they're requesting themselves out of the market. You can't even afford to keep a woman that does all the things that you want her to do. You can't afford to keep a woman that like, I'm expensive. And I'm probably on the lower end of expensive, because I don't go and do a lot of things that women do all the time, because some of the things I do for myself. But a well put together woman is expensive. A woman that's staying on her paying close attention to her weight, that's working out, and that's dressing nice, smelling good, looking good, all the nine, that's an expensive woman. So they can't even afford that woman. They can't even afford the upkeep of that woman.
Exactly. They want that for half off. They want women to be half off the normal price.
No, they want 70% off, and then they want every day for you to take 1% off of the 70% off.
That's pretty much it.
True. And I would even argue that in that case that you presented, that oftentimes a man with so much power and stature and status and stuff and wealth could possibly overwhelm the woman and make them feel like they can't even amount to have anything to add to it as far as helping her or support.
Wow. Roll that back. Roll that back. Oh, I just want people to see the game he just tried to play. Roll that back.
Argue that in that case that you presented, that oftentimes a man with so much power and stature and status and stuff and wealth could possibly overwhelm the woman and make them feel like they can't even amount to have anything to add to it as far as helping her or supporting her. Like,
Pause. Did you hear that foolishness?
That make no sense. Like,
Did you hear that foolishness? This guy said a man with all the power that he has, if he gets with a woman, he could overwhelm her and she'll feel like she has nothing to add to him. Is that why you guys are basement bargain brads? I mean, basement bargain pookies and Ray Rays? It's because you don't want to overwhelm black women, with so much power. So you keep yourself
that
based for on our behalf. Like, do you hear this garbage?
that makes no sense. Because another podcast, you're gonna talk about some high value man and him a high value man requiring all of this. He not making no sense.
Keep playing this
High
foolishness.
value men wear suits. Don't you see his suit? You better listen to him.
I forgot. I'm sorry. The non-tailored store bought. Yeah.
I bought it at Ross.
Yeah, Ross.
oh, this is Tyrese. He loves me. He wants me. What could I possibly do for this guy? And they just leave it at like, and I think it goes to a woman's head, and she
It goes to our head, y'all.
Please keep playing.
just think that she's just being, that. Oh, that's enough. Your beauty. You know what I'm saying? Your attraction. That's it. And she probably her head swells, and she's like, well, I don't have to do shit else. And then I'm sure you can attest.
So he's contradicting himself. Like, this is incredible. Like, who is listening to this bull crap? Because in one hand you said that she thinks she's overwhelmed by his power and thinks that there's nothing she can add, and now she has the big head because he chose her because she's beautiful. Help me understand. I maybe I'm missing it. Can someone on the panel help me understand what the heck is going on?
That doesn't make any sense. He said because all she has is her beauty. Maybe 'cause that's all that you see in her. Like, I don't see any woman.
Thank you.
Say
Say it again, creative. Say it, because
that's all that they see in her. It's her beauty. So they are projecting what they look at women for. That's what they're doing. They're just projecting it outwards. None of us go around and be like, "Oh, I am just so pretty. Today I'm just gonna
Wait a minute,
focus
I'm
on the
so
mirror."
pretty, and at the same time, you're swelling my head up, but I don't feel I have anything to add because you're so powerful. Like, what kind of cartoons and Disney fairy tales are they watching? Like, what are they watching? Because this is not reality for any black woman. Like, what are they talking about?
It's the blue pill. It's not the red pill. But here's the thing. They want a certain type of virtuous woman, but the woman they are describing is never that virtuous woman. So it's so bizarre. I can't believe that out of the thousands of people who listen to them, that they don't understand, that they can't see that this is just bizarre.
It's bull crap. It's packaged bull crap. Like they went to the Midwest and went on the biggest farm they could find and gathered up all the cow dung and placed it like right on the internet and stuck a microphone in the middle of it.
And people are okay with it. It's crazy. I can't help but laugh at them.
She's probably got a circle of friends in her head like, yes, girl, we knew you can get a man like that. We was waiting on it. That's all you got to do. Get him, make that man do this for you. Don't take, And that's where it ends at. And she doesn't really get to the point where she can actually support this man because she don't see herself having to do anything else because she felt like, oh, she's kind of overwhelmed. Like, wow, like this is what I have to do. Mama raised me.
What the whole hell is he even saying? Like none of this is making sense whatsoever, and it's like, I mean, how does anyone sit and listen to this? Because it made absolute blood. I can't even speak. It makes absolutely no sense. Hey,
this is coaching.
She has women in her head, not girlfriends around, but women in her head. So now she's, she has. Wait, so she has women in her head. So she has dissociative disorder, and then she's overwhelmed. She's overwhelmed by this power that is an imagination of his making. So he has delusions of grandeur, but they're sharing the same delusion because she's actually overwhelmed by the power that he says he has. And so she felt like she should have it. And so she's going to sit back and be complacent. But at the same time, she's overwhelmed by it all. And she has nothing to offer him. Like, no, they really don't have anything to offer each other except for a shared delusion in this world that he's created. It's nonsensical. Like, where is he? Where is he? Bring him back to wherever.
You're not overwhelmed by his power sitting there in his little suit? Come on, girl.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not overwhelmed. No, not. I'm very underwhelmed.
You got to focus.
I can. My ADHD won't allow that. It's not allowing my mind to go there because it's just, I don't deal in the world of pills. Like people who take all these pills, they need more help. And they need to be weaned off of this medication. They need to be weaned off the red pill and blue pill. They really do. We're going to have to do some extensive work to get them off these drugs.
And even that is so problematic. Just the talking about the pills all day, considering we have a pill problem in the society. Everything about this whole thing just is wrong.
It's a fantasy. These guys live in perpetual fantasy. And again, it speaks volumes because these are the same men that play video games all the time.
Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. I mean, his face says, and I keep saying his, I don't know. I know Sir Hale's in the red. This guy, what is his name?
It says dejected. It says I'm nothing. It says that my wife is actually out there working and I don't know what the hell to do with myself except for come online and talk to these stupid dudes who are just like me. They'll listen to what I have to say. And I'm just gonna get in this suit and just change the shirt every other day like Dennis Sperling and make it look like I'm worth something because other dudes are just as dumb as I am.
Oh,
and they'll listen to me.
You got it.
Yeah, basically, black men, we love to pretend. Let's put it that way. Or as I guess they call it, cosplay now. Yep, that's what we love.
Back.
Should I go to the next video? Or
Yeah, because we worn that one out. I mean, that one. How many views did it have? Just by the way, how many views did that have?
7.5K.
7.5 thousand idiots watch this. Well, I'm part of that. I'm part of that, and I feel the dumber for watching it. But 7.5 thousand, and mostly men, watch this, and so this speaks volumes. It just speaks volumes.
That's it to me. It's a shame because it's one thing to put out entertainment or something, and everybody knows it's ha ha he. To put out something and behave like you know what you're talking about when you don't, and misguiding people, that really kills me.
And I see the comments are mostly talking about service. Can you move that? Just reading the thumbnail, the answer is service. Men care more about respect than love anyway. So what they're saying is if you get with a black man, he's not going to love you. All he wants you to do is service him. Like, who doesn't want that? That's a walking billboard for loving a black man, is it not? Like, who's not running to do that? Like, what the hell universe do they live in? How is that even remotely attractive to anyone?
Exactly. I tried to explain it to them that we are advertising ourselves out of the market.
Lady, what were you going to say?
I'm just speechless.
I mean, it's funny to me. It's incredible to me that so many of them can't see themselves. Like, like we should just, I think we should all get together and put it on a billboard with a lot of black men and say, women, if you want a black man, this is all you have to do is be willing to service him and have him not love you. Please sign up. Run to the nearest black man. Like, who makes an advertisement like this?
Right. Like, they know how lazy they are and they don't want to do what they're supposed to do just for themselves. So why would they sign up for some type of relationship where not only do you have to take care of yourself, but you must take care of another person and put them ahead of you, basically, and then diminish yourself in your own rights? Who would sign up for that with any common sense? Nobody.
And don't forget, you have to work as well. You have to work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to go out and have a 9-to-5 or whatever type of job as well. And as King
birth
Lucifer,
those babies.
Right. And as King Lucifer says, it's attractive to other men, which is why these types of black men are homoromantic.
Yes. Okay. I got it now.
Yes, there is a position that women have to take, obviously, but I'm talking to men specifically, right? That's why it's important for you to have discipline, because if you just give it to anybody, you have just validated her to think that she deserves a dude of a particular caliber, when in fact all you wanted to do was nut in her. And in her mind, because most women sleep with dudes because of their attraction to you.
These niggas are just getting this right now.
Look at this one in the suit, in the black Spider-Man.
Okay, you see, again, this is who they are. Look at the panel. Like, does this inspire any, like, I'm sorry, like, my ovaries are shrinking and my uterus is doing like backflips.
Oh man.
Like, these guys,
you're getting dry, right?
Up the most fertile woman in the world. This is like this panel. Look at them. Like, how is this? None of them look like they're pleased with life at all. None of them. And look at the one in the corner who's hiding from life. This dude on the left is hiding from life altogether with this Spider-Man thing on. Like, these are supposed to be adult, and most of them have gray hair. Like, what the whole hell is going on?
Exactly. None of them look attractive. They all on here crying and complaining. They don't even know one thing about being romantic, on how to talk to a woman, but they have 10 pages on how to complain.
Okay, I have trolled this panel, so I can tell you that's Trigger Mike up there in the left. He is married, long-term marriage. I don't know the rest of these guys. I've seen them, and they're not too bright.
And Trigger Mike is in a room that his wife probably pays, an exorbitant amount for. I know is he a nurse or something like that?
No, now see, Trigger Mike, I don't know his profession, but I think he has a master's degree, because once I heard him saying some crazy stuff, and I was down in the chat like, Trigger Mike, I know you have a master's degree. You know better than this.
You think he has a master's degree?
I said, you're better than this.
You think
right.
He does, lady.
I think he might be a Kappa or something too. He knows a little bit. He might have been around a university. I can say that.
He might have been, exactly, because a lot of these guys, and I debunked some stuff the other night for DJ Torch and Prism. Like, I could smell degrees, and I could smell what type it is.
Yeah.
I can smell what type it is by the way the person presents. So I'm not smelling master's degree on this dude. I'm not. I'm smelling. I barely got my undergrad, and I'm just posing. That's what I'm sensing from this dude. But a lot of these guys, look at them. Like, I want people to pay close attention to their eyes. Every one of them almost has their head down.
Right. like they've been beat.
The body language, and people don't understand, body language speaks volumes.
This is a nut. This is the panel that Anton used to be on. So they've lost viewership. This guy Hink is probably the most misogynistic on the panel, but they are all very flawed and say crazy things.
Oh, Hank, he's going through a divorce with his wife, so he is very mad and upset, and yeah, he's feeling some kind of way. Like the divorce even got them splitting their 401k at this point. Yeah, so he's going through it, and he's talking about, so that's where he's coming from. He's coming from a place of hurt.
Is he a coach?
Most of these guys are going from. I mean, like
I
the
don't know.
overwhelming majority of them are coming from a place of hurt and lack.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then they catch feelings. They say they don't, but they do. Right, you have become a part of the problem. Is what I'm saying.
Seen a video of a woman talked about how she divorced her husband because he didn't love her the way that she felt that she should be. Not love. He didn't communicate.
Wait, didn't they just say in the other Lapeef video that black men aren't supposed to love women at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
They
how?
said that?
Well,
Yeah.
he said that's not important. That they shouldn't be seeking to love a woman. That the most important thing is for her to provide service. So it's not about love in terms of the man towards the woman.
Why are these people trying to look for free labor? Like what's going on?
Yeah, very good point, creative. That's the point I was saying. It's like, what woman would be dumb enough to want to sign up for that? Why would you want to just service somebody and not have them love you? That's weird. That's like, that's prison.
That's slavery.
Yeah.
Call it what
You
it
don't
is.
want to brush that
They
long
have
gray
slave
beard, girl.
fantasies. These dudes have slave fantasies. That's it. That's all.
The weird thing is they act like they got $1 million in the bank. They really do. And really $1 million ain't that much either. But I mean, the only thing that someone would sign up for is because they know that they're going to be able to live a better level of life than they could have done on their own. But that's not even true anymore.
Right. And that's not a whole lot of black women. And see, this idea that he's saying that these men sleeping with them, with a woman, gives them. Listen to the caliber of women that they're talking about, because they're not talking about a certain caliber of black women. They're talking about, and suffice it to say, I hate to be. I'm going to say it. They're talking about a low value black woman, a woman who hasn't found her worth, a woman who is not seeking her worth and doing better for herself. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about the women who are out here achieving something, who are out here doing the dang thing. They're not talking about that kind of woman. These dudes are shopping in Section 8, in the Section 8 section of whatever bargain basement that they're talking about. So the women that they're sleeping with may be applicable to those women, but they're not talking about women who are out here really taking care of themselves and doing good for themselves. They're not talking about those women, because a woman who's doing well for herself and taking care of herself, even if she got with one of these dust mites, she would carry on like nobody's business. Like, okay, it is what it is, and they move on. But regardless, you're saying she overvalues herself because you slept with her. And then you notice the phrasing that he used, because you wanted to nut inside of her. You hear how these men think? They're not even thinking wearing a condom. They're not even thinking it. So again, here you have someone who thinks that it's okay to just throw your that ejaculation responsibility. They don't have any. So you're freely doing that, knowing that you can impregnate this woman, and that's how their mind works. He didn't just say sleep with her or have sex with her. He said, what did he say, DJ?
Nut.
Inside of her.
Yep.
So I'm just looking at the title up here. Some women overvalue themselves because men don't exercise D-discipline. Now, they really should be approaching this as men don't exercise D-discipline and leave us out of it. But that's why they will never get the message.
They can't leave us out of it, because their whole identity That's why they feel the way they do, because they have no identity outside of us. That's why they're always constantly talking about us. They don't have an identity outside of us, and they can't stand that Black women have an identity outside of them. They can't stand that Black women will gather themselves up and carry on and move on to the next stage of life without them. They can't stand that they can leave Black women with children, a trail of children running behind, and the Black woman will still figure out a way to survive without them. They can't stand that.
Facts.
He didn't communicate with her the way she thought that he should communicate with her, or he didn't show her the emotions that she felt that he should have showed her, right? Then later on, when she was pressed on, admitted that she has an unrealistic expectation regarding love and relationships.
Yes.
The guy said, and overall, she said that the man that she married was a good dude. He didn't do that correctly. And she even admitted that she was unrealistic. And even then, when he called her out on it and said, but you said you married the husband, your husband, you divorced him. Maybe you had an unrealistic expectation of him. And she couldn't get it. She did not.
Camel says this is the ugliest group of niggas on the planet. Oh man, this is the ugliest group of niggas on the planet.
They love the anecdotal topics. They love talking about one woman.
One-offs.
Yeah, one woman. Even if it was 10 women, that still isn't indicative of every woman that they come in contact with. You can't tell me. Men who are honest will tell you they've had good women and messed over them. Real men will tell you, yeah, I did. I've run into a couple of good women and I didn't do them right and I was wrong. They'll tell you.
I'm going to challenge you on that. I say these types of men like a certain type of woman, and they probably haven't had that experience, most of them, of a good woman, because that's not what they're looking for. They're trying to figure out how to wrestle the chick from the hood, a woman who will let them, do what he said do, bust it or whatever he said. And that's what they want. They don't want women with high standards and high value. They're not looking for women like you. So that's what's up. We can't relate.
Facts.
Understand. She still said, well, you just can't. Some guys are good, but they're not good for you. That's a cop-out.
Bullshit. I have a question then. Why do you think that women overvalue themselves?
Society is
does that.
I mean, listen, when you have most of the population using the term "I deserve," you understand that this has nothing to do with men and their inadequacy at all.
I disagree. I think they feel like they deserve because niggas gave it to them.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Small group. Small group. That's what the market, their market has proven to them that that's their market value.
Hold on. But remember, it's a small group of men doing this. So let's take
it. No, it's not. It's not.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. I don't agree with that, Trigger Mike. I don't agree with that.
There are big girls that get to sleep with a dude that's a 9 or a 10, and they think that's a dude they qualify.
He's lying. That's full of crap.
He sure is lying. He's just. They're making up stuff. And if it was a big girl that slept with a 9 or 10, what does that say about the 9 or 10 dude?
Right. Oh, I could tell you what it means. It means that he's a 304. And
exactly, laying it down wherever. He's probably DL on top of it.
Straight up. Yeah.
I'm just saying. But now what I will say is he's not talking about every big girl, because there's some beautiful big women. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful big women who carry themselves very well with confidence, head held high. They can dress their behinds off, and they do get good looking men. So he's not talking about every big woman. I'm sure he's talking about a certain type of big woman.
Right.
And if a 9 or 10 male is sleeping with that certain type of big woman, then he's DL.
Right.
No, hold up. It's not about the 9 or 10.
That's what Sean is saying.
This is.
I just caught it. I'm sorry to stop it real quick, but do you notice that how they somehow got onto numbers?
And they're talking about men. They're not numbering women this time. They're numbering men.
Are they?
Yes. Go roll it back. They're talking about men. Roll it back.
I guess they want. They.
It's not about the 9 or 10.
That's what Sean is saying.
Go back a little bit more.
This is the problem, right? And this is the real problem that we as men. No, hold up. It's not about the 9 or 10.
That's what Sean is saying.
Okay.
Hold on.
That's a lie.
But
I don't
look,
agree with
Go
that,
back.
Trigger Mike. I don't agree with that.
Go back.
The term "I deserve."
Men
you
do.
understand that this has nothing to do with men and their inadequacy at all.
I disagree. I think they feel like they deserve because niggas gave it to them.
Exactly.
Some
Thank you.
niggas-
Thank you.
Small group.
Thank you. That's what the market, their market has proven to them that that's their market value.
Hold on. But remember, it's a small group of men doing this. So let's take
Doesn't
a
matter. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Hold on.
That's a lie.
But
I don't
look,
agree with that, Trigger Mike. I don't agree with that.
There are big girls that get to sleep with a dude that's a 9 or a 10, and they think that's a dude they qualify for.
No, hold up. It's
You
it's
see?
not about the 9 or 10.
You see, he's numbering 10.
He
They're
is.
numbering 10 now.
This is wild.
And the funny thing is that these guys are average at best.
I mean, maybe
Not even because the reason I say that is because women don't when women judge. Let me say when a woman is mature and she judges a man, she's not just judging his looks, she's judging him on his looks and his actions. So these men aren't even average at best. They're below average. Like they're none of these men are material that any woman that's worth her salt should ever look at in life. Like, no.
What's wild for me is that I never judged a man by a numbering scale like that. I've never done that. And then let alone my girlfriends or women, you know, that's so, if anything is feminine, that's very feminine.
I'm about to start doing that on my channel.
Shout out to Creative Solutions. Check out her channel for sure. Hey, lady, do you have your channel up yet?
No, who told you I was putting up a channel?
Me. Anyway,
No,
well, let
DJ.
us know if that happens, though. For sure.
Okay.
That's what Sean is saying.
No, this is the problem, right? And this is the real problem that we as men have, right? We say sex means nothing to us, but sex is the very thing that validates them.
Wait,
right?
what the?
Oh my God.
These things, but this is because they're projecting. They're projecting. Sex doesn't validate a woman. Like you don't validate a woman through you having sex with her. That is
Wait
not
a
what that
minute.
means to
Wait
women.
a minute. The women that he is dealing with, sex does validate themselves to
Okay.
him. Sukiana, they're saying she's the queen right now, okay? And you know, she's like the queen of the thoughts. That's what I heard today. So all their IG girls and all their online hotties, that the ones that they get flued out, that they fly out or whatever it is that they're doing, that's who I told you, that's who they're talking about. So yeah, when he says they're nothing but sex, and then if they can service me, you know, that makes her 10. I don't know.
Let me say this, because I don't want this to I said what I said, and I thought I clarified when I said there are big beautiful women who are out here run just tearing up some stuff. You know what I'm saying? When I say that, I mean they're making moves. They're with beautiful, gorgeous men. So no, not at all do I think because a man sleeps with a big woman, he's a whoremonger. Not at all. So I don't want that to go down as something that people are taking from what I said. Not at all.
Absolutely not. No. And then we know that they think beautiful, big is beautiful too. They're in this mind thing that they're going to control women with their sizes. And I guess they've won because you see these women going through all this, these health issues with their, you know, BBLs and whatnot. So unfortunately, they have been affected by this body shaming stuff. So yeah, I agree with you. We know big sisters can get down and be taking men from people and whatnot.
And like I said, we all know we done stuck or slept with some girl who we had no business laying with.
True. Sean did.
Sean did.
Right.
And some women had no business laying with you guys. Shoot.
So again, just because it doesn't mean anything to us doesn't mean something to them. That's what validates them. Sex and attention are better than money.
Oh
Yep.
my God.
Being sexually
this. I'm sorry.
I just
sorry,
want
I
to
need
say
to
for
go.
the record that's not what validates me. So throw the money at my Cash App. That's what validates me. Throw the money over on the Cash App.
What was that saying? What was that saying, Gemini, you had about dick and dust or something like that? All they have to offer is dick and dust.
Oh yeah, audacity. Yeah,
This explains a
D and
lot.
audacity. D and audacity.
sexually having sexual access to men, especially the ones that they wouldn't get on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Right. All the way down to the guy that they can call. Like the one video on TikTok, she was like, I had this dude and this dude.
This is
This is
projection
so
because women don't speak.
crazy.
Real women don't speak like this. Real women don't go around telling every woman, "Oh, I slept with him," or I had him." That's a man thing. Men are the one who point, "Yeah, I was with that one," or "Yeah." That's a man thing. Again, you have all these guys just projecting. Women aren't running around talking about, "I betted that one." Like that doesn't even come. Like I've never been around women like that.
But Gemini, with all the problems that they have and all the improvement that they have, they are here strategizing about women and the power that they have because of sex. I mean,
it's what I said earlier, is it not? That's the only thing that they hold. They really, really believe that their penis is the power. They have no other power, and that's why they hold these hour-long panels talking about it, because that's the only power they actually hold in society, and most of them don't even hold that because it's not even that important. It's not as important as that they're purporting it to be. Your penis is not feeding anyone. Like, stop it.
And look at
women
their
are
faces.
becoming more and more women are becoming celibate and abstinence because they don't want to deal with these dust mites.
Their faces look so serious, like they're handling the problems of the world.
Another, thank you for saying that. These dudes are not talking about fiscal responsibility. They're not talking about generational wealth. They're not talking about how to get together and create stores in their neighborhoods. They're not getting together and talking about how to improve the education system so the black male child isn't left behind. They're not talking about those things. They're not talking about how to keep from being murdered by one another. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about how to make sure their children are taken care of and don't fall victim to other children of men that look like them. They're not talking about those things. But you would think that that's what they were doing on these panels for hours and hours and hours.
Day after day after day. It's the same topic, Keisha, but approaching, talking about her in a different way.
Exactly.
Bunda says this is one disgruntled group of men. They're so serious, like they're curing unemployment.
Right. It's like, look at Hink. Like Hink look like we gotta solve this problem.
Exactly. The look on his face is like they really are solving some serious issues.
Caught this dude, even though blah 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 whoop de whoop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So as long as she can have sex with the person, the people that she sees.
This is a dude who grew out of being Pookie. He grew out. He's an
no. They don't grow out of it. They become rusty. Instead of dusty, they become rusties.
Fit to, right, and get their attention. That's better than money. That's better than winning the jackpot at Vegas. You see what I'm saying? So again, what this comes down to is what we really know needs to happen. We need to leave these women be. Let them fall. Let them down the vine. If they ain't with it, let them.
Does he know that it's us that are falling down? Does he know that it's
He's taking too many pills to be in reality. So just let him ride with the delusion and keep taking those drugs.
That trucks run in the street, push out in front of one if you can get away with it.
But Uncle Rick, there's too many.
Did you hear him advocate for the violence against women?
Did he just say
push her in front of a truck?
But Uncle Rick, there's
Matt trucks run in the street, push out in front of one.
Wow.
Let them fall. Let them down the vine. If they ain't with it, let them. Hey, Matt trucks run in the street, push out in front of one if you can get away with it.
So why should a black woman want to date a guy with that kind of mentality? Why would you?
My uterus just walked out the room.
I mean, the thing is that this man is devaluing my fellow men. If this is how most of us are, I don't have any comeback for this. He's literally telling other black men to push black women in front of a Mack truck. Man, these guys.
And then they cry when Cynthia G start making her posts and her videos.
Yeah. By all means, if anybody wants to clip this, please do, because this kind of dust needs to be explained. I swear.
But Uncle Rick, there's too many simps.
And that's why this is why other cultures don't respect us. Because other cultures respect their women, regardless.
Even if they don't respect them, they're indifferent because they know that they hold power. They know that they don't see themselves as an extension of the women. These men see themselves as an extension of women. They don't see themselves outside as independent entities. Those men see themselves as outside entities. They understand their autonomy. These idiots don't understand they are autonomous beings and they're responsible for their own actions. That's why you will never hear them address certain topics outside of women, because they only see themselves as an extension. They can't. We always talk about, why can't they just talk about themselves and not address us? They can't. They're incapable of doing so.
I just had a really scary thought. I used to always think, why when something is like bad, they call it feminine. But I think what it is, I think they are, as a group, not you, DJ, you guys who are men know that you're men. I really think that something has been happening with these guys and they've been poisoned, because they are all very hypersexual and all very feminine. And the traits that they call each other, tease each other all the time, that's gay. And, it's just, and then so many of them are. And look how they're making mainstream real hard. I mean, they say that other groups are pushing this on them, but the dresses and the skirts and the high heels.
You know what? If they didn't agree to wear it, I'm sorry, but if they don't have to agree to wear it.
Right. That's what I mean. They didn't say no. I mean,
exactly. So, I mean, whose responsibility? See, they love to tell black women, it's your responsibility. You got pregnant. You should have said no. So the same goes for them. If they didn't want to wear a dress, why wear one? If you didn't want to be surrounded by red roses with the all this other stuff, why did you do it? So they are incapable of taking any type of responsibility for their own actions. Outside of saying, well, if they will swear it's because the guy who did it was a single was raised by a single mother. Like, what's the excuse for the successful men who are raised by a single mother?
That's true. That's true.
What happened with them?
Well, and even if they do have something genetically wrong with them and they might be feminine, that still has nothing to do with being a man or a person and standing up and taking accountability for what you do. Why is that so strong? Like, why can't you admit these things are going wrong? We need to fix it instead of blaming everything on somebody else. That piece, I don't think is cool at all.
This is another thing that I wanted to mention that happens. So a couple of weeks, this wasn't even a couple of weeks ago. This had to be about a year ago. It was a white woman that called in a Cynthia G show, And I'm pretty sure white women watch Cynthia G show a lot because they deal with these men more now than before. And then so now they're experiencing these things that we already dealt with, and now they're stuck with them and don't know what to do. But this one, she calls into Cynthia G show, and then she starts saying their mothers, like talking about black women, like, well, their mother, it's because their mothers is so bad. And we like, what the heck is going on? Like, you do know that we have the same mothers. Like, they don't have separate mothers. We all have the same mothers. And what I noticed that they do this all the time. They do this with women, especially women outside of the community. When they get with these women, they use their mothers as an excuse for why they're failures, like why they're not educated, why they don't work, like why they don't, why they're not, at their highest potential. And I noticed for a fact, I've seen it myself because my little brother does it, and he did it for a very long time since he was young. And he would date these, he's a narcissist too, he's a womanizer, and he would date these girls, and then whenever the situation wouldn't work out, and they looking for him and trying to, they calling us, and they would say the same thing. Well, he talked about your mom, and he did it all the time. Like, it was almost like he was known to do this. And I would be like, why do you do that in these relationships? Like, if you're just going to be trash, but don't drag our mom into this, like, as a part of your scheme of why you're the way that you are. You're the way that you are because you're that way. And granted, he was actually very spoiled, which is a bad thing. But the things that he would say was so untrue. He was basically making it seem like he was just like an abused child and experienced all this abuse. And none of that stuff was true. He just wanted to look like a victim. And this is a tactic these men have begun to use to basically make it seem like the reason why they are the way that they are is because their mothers did this to them. No, this is an excuse that they use, that they are using. And I'm not going to say that, I definitely know there are children who are abused. I know that, but every last one of you was not abused. If I got brothers and I was in a house with my brothers and I know that they wasn't abused, but he going out telling people that he's abused, it's a lot of you that are not abused. And it's almost as if, I don't know if they've been hypnotized, but I can't say that because my brother was doing this long before there was a Manosphere or Redpill. He don't even know anything about that. So what I was thinking was maybe being indoctrinated and sitting under this, these dating coaches and listening to the stuff over and over again, that it starts to make them look at their life differently. But I don't know, like, why. I don't know where that came from, where these men just decided to say, you know what, since we got to have an excuse for not being able to add up to other men, let's just say it's our mother's fault. You would have been better off saying it was your father's fault, because the majority of the time he's absent. Like, literally, that's like a running joke that black men don't have fathers. I mean, black people don't have fathers. So you would be better off telling that joke than to say, than to just put it on your mom. But that's all I came up to say.
I agree with you 100%.
Very well said. I also like to remind everybody that to check out Camo's live Modern Dating featuring Dr. Peterson. It's in the archives under live.
Oh, I missed that. When was that? This past week?
Yeah, it was was it Tuesday or Wednesday? It was last week.
It turned out really good. I just kind of went with the flow. I just let it be what it was. But I really was expecting Jim to be here with me and not have to do it by myself, but I got through with it. But you'll probably like it. It actually turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I did catch it. I was at work.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. Real good. You did a good job.
Thank you. But that was like my little 2 cents. Like, I was just thinking about that. I didn't know that this was a thing at all. That you had a whole Manosphere of men, a group of men that's doing these things. But I definitely noticed that they have use these, like, they have like these coping mechanisms, and it's always to blame somebody. Like, they never do anything. And that's another running joke with white people, is that I ain't do nothing. Like, they know that these men do that. It's just really bad.
And
It's
what's
really
sad
bad.
is the other running joke is my son didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And that's and again,
Yeah.
that's why I say, when you see, like, when you're on YouTube and you go to these news, you see news reels from your hometown, if that's what you subscribe to. I watch news all over, but if you see news, I always go in the comment section when they do something, and I'm right along with the white people saying thank you, police, and everything else, so that they can stop believing that all black women are co-signing this bull crap, because we're not. And we need to separate our image and stop allowing people to believe that we co-sign on this debauchery that they're running around doing. So if you see a news clip, join in and say, great job, police, get them off the street, death penalty, whatever you can put in there, so that they know black women aren't co-signing this bull crap. We're no longer standing beside these men doing this stupid stuff, because it didn't make sense anyway for people to be so supportive of freaking criminals.
But to be honest,
she got a call. She got a call.
Well, roll the tape.
And white knights.
You leave them to it. That's your but this the problem though. This the problem with men, and the same with women. They both of them look so much alike. Can't nobody tell the difference. That's the problem. The same. And let me make a point. The red pill community, the best of the best, the creme of the creme, right? What they tell you.
Wait.
He just said women and men look so much alike you can't tell the difference, and I'm just waiting for the explanation, because this has to be good.
No, but wait a minute. Did you catch the part about the red pill community being the creme de la creme?
De la creme, yeah. Over the dude, not even putting his mic on mute to blow his nose, because this is the type of etiquette these guys have. But these are the people that are the select.
I don't understand. Is he going to explain what that meant? What do you
I hope
think?
so. Let's see. That one got my eye, because it's like, wait a minute. Are you saying that the red pill community is the best of the men out there?
Get your bag up. Get your weight up. Right? Make sure you have all your ducks in a row so you can treat them that way. Right? Right?
Treat them like what?
But what they do when they get their weight up and they can move how they want to move, what they do? They shoot a nut up in them. Might make a baby, might not, and then push them along the way, right?
Right.
So what you got now? Another woman that was validated by a baller back out on these streets saying, you know what? Shannon hit me. You know what I'm saying? Shannon.
I shouldn't have took her on the yacht. I shouldn't have took her on my yacht. I got it. I'm sorry.
This is what I keep telling
I shouldn't have let her drive in the Porsche.
Look, this is what I'm saying. I made my mistakes, bro.
Wait a minute.
But I'm telling you.
He didn't explain anything, because I still don't get it. I'm confused. Go back. Did we miss a portion? I was waiting for him to explain how men and women are looking alike out here.
No, you didn't miss anything. Hey, lady, what are your thoughts on this?
I think she's right. I think Jim is right. We need to go back, because I'm told. Okay, the last thought I had was: is he talking about another man's life in a house, in a Porsche? Or is he talking about his life?
Again, they're on these delusions of grandeur pills, so it's no telling. I was waiting for him to explain. So play it, DJ. Maybe we missed it. Go ahead.
Wait up, right? Make sure you have all your ducks in a row so you can treat them that way, right? Right. What they do when they get their weight up and they can move how they want to move, what they do? They shoot a nut up in them. Might make a baby, might not, and then push them along the way, right?
Right.
So what you got now? Another woman that was validated by a baller back out on these streets saying, you know what? Shannon hit me. You know what I'm saying? Shannon.
I shouldn't have took her on the yacht. I shouldn't have took her on my yacht. I got it. I'm sorry.
They don't even have it. They don't even have a yacht.
Hold on. You know what? I'm starting to think that black men have dissociative disorder. Like basically, like they are so low that that their mental. It's like it bothered them so much that they had that their brain automatically invented another character for them to be able to cope through life because some of this stuff is just like insane. Maybe this is just like maybe this is stuff that they talk about in like tree houses and barbershops and they forgot that they was live or something because I can't like seriously.
Excuse me.
Tree houses and barbershops. I swear to God.
Wait a minute. I know Gemini is going to check Camo because she said a dissociative order, and we don't diagnose people on here, or do we now, Gemini? You tell me.
Well, she said we're not diagnosing, but she said she swears some of them. And I said it earlier too, because I was jokingly saying, and I think, no, you can't diagnose somebody from, one viewing of them and not actually, because a lot of these guys are.
I mean, this is not one viewing. This is a whole lifetime of viewing of their behavior of delusion. So, like, there's something. There is some type of disassociation with reality going on there.
Well, they do. A lot of them have delusions of grandeur, but a lot of them are far removed from reality. But again, we're talking about YouTube, and a lot of this they can say because they're commiserating with one another, and they may be performing completely different, moving completely different in their regular normal lives. They're getting together and commiserating, but I guarantee you they don't function like this in the white man's face.
I mean, one of them literally got on a Spider-Man mask. Like, seriously.
I know. Oh man, talk about black male identity, not wanting to be black. He wants to be a spider more than he wants to be a black man.
Wow.
She shouldn't have let her drive in the Porsche.
Both. Look, this is what I'm saying.
These niggas don't have that kind of shit. You don't have a Porsche. You don't have a.
But you know what? And this is the thing. Even if he does, it doesn't even matter, because the things that these guys like to floss about is materialistic things that don't even translate. Like, dude, even if you have a Porsche, you're broke. Like, I can look at you and smell brokenness. Like, you're broken and you're broke. These people value, just like Anton Daniels, they value trinkets and they don't have any money in the bank. They value trinkets and they value having cars and they value looking like something. But when it all comes down to it, you can't spend that. That's not something you can that holds its value. He's talking about a Porsche, a car that loses its value when it leaves the lot. He's not talking about retirement plan. He's not talking about things that actually grow, in financially. He's not talking about those things. They're not talking about love. They're not talking about anything of value. So everything that they value is between their legs and material things that perish. And that's why they die alone. And that's why they have nothing to pass on to society, and why society doesn't even view or validate or value them. We saw earlier how this dude came into Rick Ross's house while this dude was laying in the bed and giving him a trinket, and his daughter needed life-saving surgery, but he's busy out here giving another dude a diamond. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These dudes are worthless.
You should see. I mean, if this is the best of the best in the black community, then America has a problem.
We do. We do.
Like, seriously, if the red pill men of America is the best of the best, then God save us.
I made my mistakes, bro. I made my mistakes, but I'm telling both of y'all, all of y'all lying.
Wait a minute, pause it again.
You niggas is.
Wait, listen to how he said he made his mistakes. It's funny because you would think he was talking about, all the mistakes he's made in life. not talking about having sex with women, but the mistakes that he's made in life to land him where he is, and he wants to do better in life. These dudes are seriously how we talk about mistakes that we've made that caused us to take a step back as opposed to a step forward. These dudes are talking about sex that way. Like, you can't make this up. It's insane. They value sex over everything. People can be talking about some life-altering things, and this is what they deem as life-altering: having sex with the wrong woman, or having sex, with a woman that they said that they gave her value and she wasn't valuable. Other people are saying, I invested wrong, or I lost my home and I had to do this or do that, or I messed up in school and I had to start all over again, or my children didn't get this or didn't get that, and I really messed up with parenting. These dudes are talking about sex like that. Do you hear this? This is I made. Listen to the passion in his voice.
I have to turn to DJ. What is going on? Tell me, do you have any of these feelings that they're talking about? What is...
Not at all. I mean, you know something? I'm thinking about my next fishing trip. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't have these kind of feelings. And the thing is I'm embarrassed once again because these guys are representing my race, my gender, and my age. And they're out here giving us a bad look, talking about sex for 90% of the time on this live. It's like, dude, I mean, how about your grandchildren? How are they doing? How about your kids? How are they doing? What would you tell the younger brothers? What do you have for what is your life entails? What do you do? All they're doing is whining about women and sex they don't get.
Rewind it just a little bit. And while you're doing that, Blackhawk said Anton is a millionaire with a 9-to-5 and lives in an apartment. Shaking my head.
Basically, living that fantasy life.
Because I want people to see how much passion this dude is putting into this, and we're gonna let it run for a couple of minutes.
Got it.
But what they do, and let me make a point. The Redpill community, the best of the best, the creme of the creme, right? What they tell you: get your bag up, get your weight up, right? Make sure you have all your ducks in a row so you can treat them that way, right? Right?
Right.
What they do when they get their weight up and they can move how they want to move, what they do? They shoot a nut up in them, might make a baby, might not, and then push them along the way, right?
Right.
So what you got now? Another woman that was validated by a baller back out on these streets saying, you know what? Shannon hit me. You know what I'm saying? Shannon.
I shouldn't have took her on the yacht. I shouldn't have took her on my yacht. I got it. I'm sorry.
This is what I keep telling you.
I shouldn't have let her drive in the Porsche.
Look, this is what I'm saying. I made my mistakes, bro. I made my mistakes. But I'm telling both of y'all, all of y'all lying. Your niggas is lying. Your bitches is lying. Y'all all lying. Because if y'all wanted what y'all really wanted, like y'all said, that y'all wouldn't move the way you do. If you was a good man and trying to be a decent man, you wouldn't move the way you do. If you was trying to be a good woman and you a lady about your shit, you wouldn't move the way you do. The reason why you don't get a good woman because you're not a good man.
Is this dude a former pimp or something?
The reason why you can't get a good man is because you're not a good woman. At the end of the day,
I'm so
that's
confused.
what I'm saying.
Who is he now?
Is this guy? I mean, he must know he's gutter mouth, right?
I really wanted you to keep going.
Sorry.
But unfortunately, there are good men.
I said, dudes.
Wait, hold on, Spidey, hold on.
I said because dudes be smashing anything, women think that they deserve more than they do. I think it was on somebody said, okay, when a woman is let's say an NBA player or professional player smashes a woman, she then thinks that she qualifies for wife material, husband material for a dude that's in a professional sport. And so I'm saying that yes, there is a position that women have to take, obviously, but I'm talking to men specifically, right? That's why it's important for you to have discipline, because if you just give it to anybody, you have just validated her to think that she deserves a dude of a particular caliber, when in fact all you wanted to do was nut in her. And in her mind, because most women sleep with dudes because of their attraction to you, right? And then they catch feelings. They say they don't, but they do, right? You have become a part of the problem. That's what I'm saying.
I think he's skipping over an important part of what he said, bro. He talked about pretty much people having these rock solid, diehard standards. And he specifically said, I think the red pill community.
Yeah.
And he also was talking about women. I think that's true. I think I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A bunch of shit that be said on YouTube is goofy as fuck to me. All that and respect to everybody that says it, but all that oh, you're gonna hit this wall and this and that, this and that, this and that. And I think a bunch of shit is really goofy. I think baby mamas get wiped up every day. The chicks y'all say won't get a nigga get wiped up every day.
But as it relates to the percentages, though, Sean, that's not a true statement.
I don't care about no percentages, bro. I'm just saying people. I'm saying no. The point I'm saying is what he was trying to get to is making it sound like you're a baby mama, quote unquote, so you'll never get anybody. You're 40, so you'll never get anybody. You got 2 kids, so you'll never. It's all cap. All these chicks that y'all talk about, if they walked in the room, most of you niggas gonna give up your whole paycheck.
Right.
I'm saying. So I think it's a lot of cap, and this goes for the women too.
Weak men.
All the shit.
Wait, did he just totally just wipe out all the crap that these do? I know he's getting ready to talk about women, but do you notice he just wiped out all the crap that all of these men are always saying, like in one swoop?
Yeah.
In one swoop, he said it's all cap. You talking about the woman hit the wall? You talking about the 40-year-old woman? She can't get nobody. You talking about the baby mama? It's all cap. If she walked in the room now, all y'all niggas be on her.
Yeah, Dr. HD trying to the statistics. Please.
Something tells me he's not a doctor. I don't know why. He should trim that beard though. He really is getting on my nerves. I don't know why.
He looks a mess.
Because it's janky.
Call them what you want. It's true. And the shit goes both ways. All the shit they talk about, different dudes, the pookies and this and that, the pookies be knocking these chicks down. Lawyers, doctors, they be getting knocked down by niggas that are unemployed.
That's not true. I know that for a fact. Don't get me wrong, it probably happens here and there, but he's making it sound like it's a common occurrence and it's not.
Well, so that's not even second, DJ. That's not even the point. The percentages, it doesn't matter. Doctors are smashing homegirls and strippers are smashing presidents. Okay, it doesn't matter. The point is, why are you so concerned about the woman's body and what she's doing with her body instead of getting on your business and taking care of your family? Because I bet you at least half of these dudes got a child that's not living with them. You know, they're just so fake. That's all. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, that was perfect. That was amen to that. That's what I'm saying.
For correction in both directions. And it's absolutely fucking annoying. And for me, a nigga who's gotten grade A vagina his whole life, it sounds like a bunch of goofballs who I made fun of that's just talking shit on the internet.
Grade A vagina. All right, Luis, what you got on it?
Oh, go ahead, Luis.
Yeah, I mean, where do I even begin? You know, some women want a man that they've never seen before, or nor have their father ever aspired to try to be.
Why is he making up shit? I've never heard that in my life.
What the fuck?
I don't get it. Men that you never seen before. What the?
So I sometimes wonder where a lot of these standards come from, because they ought to have been passed down to you and showed to you in your household, in your upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Your mother, your father, you know what I'm saying? People within your tribe or your community talk about like how a man should show up for you and you know how relationship dynamics work out. But unfortunately, a lot of people are getting those sort of tidbits from social media. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things that we're talking about, you know, because it like people talk about, like, just let's remove sex off the table for a second. You know, what do people really think that their standard is? If we remove social media, if we remove the sex, what does that really look
It
like?
looks like his standard is a couple burgers and some fries.
And how does that show up?
Okay.
Right? Is that person, you know what I'm saying, is your standard because of what you experienced in your life and that you've seen, you know, how you've interacted with men, how your father raised you, how, you know.
Notice how none of them are talking about compatibility, not compatibility, character, kindness, you know, things that things that help a relationship or marriage stay together. They're not talking about that. Not one
They
bit.
don't understand that like people get together in a proximity of where they of where they are socially and professionally. So I don't understand why they always have. If you're speaking about men with men, speak on men. You don't have to add women into black women into your conversation or any women into your conversation. For you to say, well, doctors are getting smashed by pookies, that's a damn lie, because pookies are not in the same proximity of doctors unless they got shot or something, or whatever the case may, or for some medical reason or a legal reason, some for a lawyer. But when a doctor and a lawyer goes home, they're not going home to O Block or whatever hood that you're from, that a pookie is from. So that's a lie. That makes no sense. Now I'm just like you said, it has it happened? Maybe, I don't know. But the chances are very slim that doctors and lawyers are waiting on pookies to get smashed. To me, I feel like these men have a secret obsession with the pookie character that they have made up in their mind. And the pookie character is actually Future, and it's really the guy that they wish that they were, because unfortunately a future is a well paid, you know, pookie, and he gets a lot of women. Yeah, he is, and they have to bring him up all the time. I know exactly what's in their mind, but even that man they're not even on his level. So I don't understand why. I'm pretty sure Future has smashed plenty of doctors and lawyers, but you will never. And you're not even a pookie. So like, what is it? What is this issue with them with this pookie? They are in love with this pookie character. They in love with Future and these drill rappers and everybody else. It's just really getting old.
That's it. I heard one of them said this week something like but we deserve Keisha because Pookie got Keisha.
What?
You lying.
Oh,
He pissed me off, because why would you say that we're supposed to aspire to people in our family or what our father did? What if our father was shit? So we should aspire to shit? What the fuck? Like, what he made no fucking sense.
What the real issue is that they don't want to talk about is that they fake millionaires online and got fake yachts and all these other things. And in reality, they live in communities where there are men that they consider pookie or whatever the case may be, and they cannot compete with those men. And that's for Keisha or whoever it may be in the neighborhood that they want. And that woman always get that guy Future, the Futures of the neighborhood with the swag, that's tall and has a decent face and nice skin or whatever else he got in his ratchet Charger and driving loud with music, whatever it is that they do. He's standing in the window watching. I wish I could be that one day. Like, why didn't God pick me to have a Hellcat and dreads and whatever the hell else that it is that they desire to be? And because it's the truth, and they say it, so that's why I keep telling them, stop talking, because when you talk, you let it be known what your status in life is. If you were living in a different environment, you wouldn't be around those kind of people. Why are you always around Pookie and Keisha and in their business? If you don't like them, that's none of your business. Like, leave them alone. The reality is he's still in the window watching Keisha run down the steps and jump in the Charger and they drive off in the sunset and he's mad. That's been his fantasy since he was a child.
No, for real, they mad. I think he's even more mad because he want to get away with shit just because he got a Keisha. So he want to get him a girl who he thinks is supposed to take all of this shit from him, and she's supposed to because he thinks that she's low stature and she needs to know that she's low stature. And then these guys are mad when she don't want to take that shit. The fuck?
You can't make somebody like you. You just cannot. You can't, and they're gonna talk themselves into an oblivion. I don't know what they're gonna do with Spider-Man faces and Santa Claus beards and all this stuff that's going on that wild panel up there. It looks so weird and crazy. Like you're really this person. Like accept yourself as what you are. And it's not always going to be Keisha, or whoever this person is. And why do you keep on using people's names? Like, I mean, what are you talking about? First of all, Keisha always been bad. Like, you could never get a Keisha.
We got to give him a name. Who is that camel in the window standing looking out the window at Keisha and Pookie? Is it Roger? Who is it? He's standing.
No, it's a Marcus. It's always a Marquise or a Marcus or something like that. That's a little bit softer. That's not as rough as the rest of the guys, and he's just not like everybody else. And he may not have got all the looks or whatever, and he's just there, probably. He's just been watching everybody's life pass by. And every once in a while, every once in a while, Marcus gets a break. Because he might be a little bit smarter and he goes to college and he moves on with his life, and then he'll marry a white woman or something because he hates all black people now because of that one situation with Keisha. That's what that is. That's what that is. But then you have the other Marcus that just never got it, and he's still wishing that he could have Keisha, and now he's trolling all of the Keishas online every day, all day, talking about Pookie.
Still crying about what happened to him in high school at 60-something years old.
Yes. Just horrible. Just horrible. You notice, like, when the passport bros at 50 get their passport and go overseas, they all look like they in the early 2000s. They all dress like Nelly.
No, for real, they do. They still on the what is it? The jerseys, the best.
Yeah, they be wearing like jerseys and a hat. They might as well put a Band-Aid on their Timbs. How are you in a tropics wearing Timbs? What is going on? And you wonder why those women don't like you.
Passport boy said they didn't have nothing to do with this.
It's just it's just to link them all in together. Because those are Marcus's too. Like let's get that clear. That's him too. Because now what he's gonna do is he's gonna go overseas and get a Lisa that's brown and cute like Keisha, but he can pay her a small amount for some attention.
Sad your life has to be for you to get on the internet waving around a passport. Like your life has to be really, really sad for this to be a flex for you.
It's just really crazy.
Seriously, like talk about traveling as if you're Christopher Columbus's cousin. I mean, seriously, like people have been traveling for how long and for how many continents?
Jim, I seen one of their users. They said Black colonizer. I swear to you, you're gonna notice it now. Like one of their usernames was like Black colonizer.
I mean, it's just insane. These dudes are sad. Like, dude,
I told you that they want to be slave owners. I told you they want to be back in. See, this is what they want. You know how they always say, I wish we can go back in the day. They want to go back in the day, but they don't want to go back in the day as as the status that they was then. Even though they don't have that much status now, they don't have to walk in the street and they can look white men in the face. They want to go back in the day as with the status that they have now.
Right.
And experience being
they would still have to walk across the street because they don't have that status. That's the crazy part. It's like you would still be subjected. You wouldn't still have anything. Even if we went back then, you men still wouldn't have anything. It doesn't make sense.
it's like the guy in Torch's comment section that's crying about Austin. Like, he's only 24, and what about white men and all these? He wrote like a whole dissertation about Austin and white, and yeah, I read that, and I was like, what is this? I wanted to say something, but I was like, you know what? He didn't.
I think I read it too, because he was like, why don't you take him under your wing? And like, nobody. You know what? I'm so tired of these black men still needing to be breastfed at 62. Like, stop it.
like people are like, young men are graduating.
Nobody is holding this dude's hand. He's a fully grown man. If you guys are sitting here throwing money at him, just keep throwing money at him and leave us alone.
Like, men are graduating. Young people are graduating from grad school at 24. There are men who have entire families and jobs and businesses that they run at 24 years old. Like, what do you think 24 is? Like, you think that if he get in trouble for something, that they're gonna be like, that all you got to do is say, well, judge, he's only 24. He's gonna be like, oh, he's 24. Oh yeah, never mind, case closed. No, they're gonna be like, so.
Especially as a black person, like, miss me with that. 14 years old, these and I don't blame them. They're starting to charge these 14-year-olds as adults. Like, the Supreme Court already has made it possible for 15 to 17 to be tried as adults, and some 14-year-olds. Like, these idiots are out here talking about sex when they should be talking about these ages that are being lowered for them to be given the death penalty. So, which I agree with, because I would be on the front picket line saying, no, we want the death penalty. Like, forget this, because they're a menace to society, but they're instead, what are they doing? And that's why they don't have any respect in society, because they don't worry about the things that affect the whole dynamic, the black demographic as a whole. But yet they sit online and talk about single mothers and how women need to be of service to them. Like, miss me with this.
They're crazy as hell. Those women, that white women right now, are not in service to their men, and they own everything. Like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. They don't even want to be married anymore. Like, they don't even want to have children, be married or anything, because their husbands are starting to act like cookies. So, like, what makes you think that you have nothing at all and you're gonna get some Stepford wife, and when you come home, get out of here. Bye. No. They just weird. Like, they have like weird fantasies.
All of them.
Even the ones that's like, those men, some of them are married or divorced. This is what I'm saying. Like, this got to be some weird treehouse shit. Like, it got to be. They know damn well they can't talk like that in their house in front of no wife. No, it's no way.
And no way. They should have the sense to not let that guy be on there with that mask on. That is just crazy. I mean, it's like, some clown.
Why? He's Spider-Man.
And treating it like he's normal. And treating it like
Spider-Man.
Just.
Spider-Man was 17 years old or something, right? In school, and he was saving the world. And these men is 50 and 60 years old crying about whatever the world. So I know that he's really not paying too much attention to Spider-Man, to be honest with you. He wants to be like the nigga man or something. I don't know.
All right, one more to go. Here we go, folks.
DJ said, all right.
It all started when my dad met my brother's mom and had him. Then my dad met my other brother's mom and had him. And then my dad met my mom and had my brother and I. And then my dad met my other brother's mom and had him. Then my dad met my sister's mom and had her. And then my dad met my other little sister's mom and had her. Isn't she so cute? And then my dad got back with one of my sister's moms and then had my two little brothers. Hi, we're the Carters, and our life is kind of crazy.
The sad thing is, this is not a rare occurrence. This is a common theme in the Black community. My father was the same way, except he was a pimp. My father has 20 plus kids, probably has a whole lot more than that. And yes, my father, right here, is a Black man. This is another prime example of how these kings broke the Black community. Of course, they want to blame the Black woman for it. They say the Black woman chose welfare over them. But the facts remain that these kings had so many kids by so many different women, they couldn't be in the house anyway. They created so many broken homes that it was impossible for them to take care of all their kids. So a lot of these women had no choice but to get support where they could. I'm an active father of 6 kids, all by the same woman that I've been married to for 11 years. And it's exhausting. Me and my wife are exhausted taking care of our 6 kids. And this is all in one home. So you can only imagine how exhausting and impossible it is for one man that's fathered that many kids to try to take care of each and every household. These bandits broke the Black community. These bandits sold Black women a dream, left them barefoot and pregnant, then went on to the next to do the same exact thing. Hell, they wrote songs about it. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. It was a degenerate bandit culture. And the result is a dysfunction that we have today in the Black community. It wasn't Black women's fault. It wasn't welfare's fault. It was y'all's fault. The vast amount of fatherless homes y'all created all over the city, all over the country. And those single mothers you created taught their daughters to avoid you all like the plague. This is the mess y'all created. Own up to it.
One thing I want to say is, a lot of those, all of the women were, almost all of the women were preferences, but to the one that he went back with, I have to blame her. I'm sorry, I have to blame her.
Yeah.
After he spread himself that thin over, and because she was not the first one, so I have to blame her for allowing him to come back and impregnate her again. Like, what the whole hell?
All of those women were beautiful too. Like, come on, like, what are you on? Like, seriously, like they get mad when we say you must be like gay or DL or something, and then they'll be like, "Nah, Black women use that." No, we really be like, do you have like a lot of like you have a lot of characteristics of men who are closeted, rainbow.
Yes,
so
they
like
are.
that's why we ask you that, like.
Yes, the men that are that are extremely promiscuous, especially the ones that are fathering all these children. Yes. Yes.
All those women were gorgeous. I'm talking about like not average looking women. And you couldn't settle down with one, not 2, not number 3, not number 4, not number, like, come on, like that's real like clown shit.
But this is what I think is the clown shit. So the second person who got pregnant by a family member's man, that was everything after that was crazy. I mean, come on now. You're risking having children being born with birth defects or something. That's just crazy.
Who got pregnant by a family? So one of them was like related?
I missed that.
They were all related.
No,
they were
no.
They're not related.
Yeah, those are different women. But
yeah,
they're all siblings because they have the same father.
Yes.
He was
so all of those women pregnant. He was with.
He got sisters pregnant.
No. Did we miss that?
Yes, you
maybe
did.
I don't know.
Play it again, George. Play it again.
Yeah, play it again. You got a bunch of people.
My dad met my brother's mom and had him. Then my dad met my other brother's mom and had him. And then my dad met my mom and had my brother and I. And then my dad met my other brother's mom and had him. Then my dad met my sister's mom and had her. And then my dad met my other little sister's mom and had her. Isn't she so cute? And then my dad got back with one of my sister's moms, and then had my two little brothers. Hi, we're the Carters, and our life is kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
they're just siblings by the same dad. None of those women were related because she's saying met, and then the last one he got back with one woman he had already had a child with.
Oh, okay. So it's only one. I thought it was more than one that he did that with.
I think it's the way she explained it that made it sound that way, that they were tied together.
So the woman went back after he had all those
Yes,
kids,
and that's
she
what
went
I was
back?
saying. I fought her for allowing him to go back.
Right.
That's what I was
That's
saying.
great.
And look who the one was who went back.
The black
went
woman.
back. The black one.
woman.
It always gotta be like, what are you doing? Like, why couldn't you follow like whatever the rest of the Melissa, Marias and them was doing? Like, no, they didn't get back with him for a reason, and they should have never been with them at all. But at least they learned their lesson the first time.
Right.
No, but how about having being with a man who's got several baby moms? I mean, two is
I don't know.
Yeah, two is that's pushing it. Two is.
I feel like one is. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like one is too much. If you don't have any children, I feel like
if you
one
don't
is
have
too
any
much.
children, definitely. But I'm
Yes.
saying, like, if you have children,
Absolutely.
or he has children, and he wasn't, especially if he wasn't married to either one of them, that's crazy.
Right. I mean, that's really for me. I've been married twice. Neither one of them had children, and with my first one is who I had my children with. So because of that, after all that, I didn't even like to date men who had children because I felt like you got little, kids at home. That's where you need to be. You don't need to be with me. You know what I mean? So yeah, it is a turn off. It's not just, and really women need to protect their assets and not, it's one thing you want to share your heart with some children, that's fine, but you have to be able to protect yourself too in case something doesn't work out between you and a man with children.
Because you could be and this is crazy because I was watching this today. Gabrielle Union, she's taking care of. This the degeneracy that's running rampant in their relationship is insane. But she's going 50-50, taking care of an outside baby, taking care of his babies by somebody else, 9 miscarriages, and they say they have a baby by a surrogate, but I don't know.
And don't forget the trans situation.
That's what I wouldn't even want to touch that.
And it's not that it's a bad thing, but it's the fact that she has to take on all of that while also that child is pretty much, you could say he's special needs. So this is a special needs child.
Yep, that's right. That's $1 million a year easy.
On top of that, going 50-50 and saying she has money worries.
What in the world? What's wrong with Gabrielle? She need to be the Gabrielle from Deliver Us from Eva.
About money, I can't sleep in. I know I have to go to work.
What?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
That is crazy.
And then she
I don't care what anybody says. His sexuality is questionable.
And she tossed that salad like over there.
His sexuality is extremely questionable.
I thought that was determined already, a long time ago. And he's one, he's another one like trying to bring the dresses back, whatever that is. It's just weird.
There was never, I don't remember even like because I was like into punk and stuff in the 80s. And like, I don't remember men wearing dresses. I mean, every once in a while you'll have like a band or something that like do some off the wall stuff. Like, you like how you had like with Queen and some other or whatever. But I don't remember the dress phase of any time. Now, some of the
like their hair, maybe their hair and wearing makeup, but
some of it like like the jumpsuits or whatever that they used to wear like back in the day that was like bell bottoms and stuff like that. I get that. Like with Harry Styles, I get that because that is a very 70s look, and that is in right now. That in the 70s, that's what men that were entertainers was wearing. But like that's random wearing like a dress thing. And I'm okay with fashion. I talked to my son about that too recently because my son is trying to get into modeling too. And I asked him, I was like, you're gonna have to, like, how do you feel like about having to wear a dress because you're gonna have to wear a dress or whatever? And that was like one of the things that we spoke about. And yeah.
So this is Queer History Month, right? So there is a my timeline, I'm getting all these things saying, well, this was happening, within Queer Month, history, whatever. So the first drag queen was a Black man. Did you guys get that? Did you see that?
Yeah, he was also he was actually a activist too. He was a slave.
That's right. He brought the term drag. You know what I mean? So it runs deep. Okay, it's deep.
Yep. He has been actually in the LGBTQ community. He has been a figure of theirs that they have talked about for a while. I don't think Black people always trying to hide everything, and that's why like I side eye a lot of things like from the history that we was taught. A lot of it was like lies. Like a lot of stuff that they told us was like a lot of lies, and they made up these stories to like I guess to I think that they wanted to give us something to like to be proud of. And yes, we were we have proud figures in history, but some of it is just like a stretch of what they assumed it was. Like I don't know if they didn't if Black people didn't never think we were going to ever get in contact with Africans, so like they made up all these stories about our African heritage that was all of this and this stuff that was not really real. And then here we are in 2023, and all of it is like being debunked. Like, no, that was not true. That didn't happen. I don't understand that.
I think that if you listen, there's so much, and if you, because I did a double major, and history was one of my majors in undergrad. But what's funny to me is if you look at the and creative, you could speak to this, attest to this. If you look at the Caribbean and you look at Haiti, and like the DR and some of those other places, even Latin America, if you look at some of their culture, their food, the colors, and all of those things that they have, and even the dialect, especially in the Caribbean, it's similar to Africa. What the heck happened to Americans, Black Americans? That's why I say that I don't believe most Black Americans came from Africa. I think a lot of Black Americans were already here and became enslaved along with some of the Africans from Africa. But we are missing too much of that culture.
Well, I think what happened.
We're missing too much of that culture to have come here straight from Africa like other ones have, because they maintain a lot of their culture in the colors, the food, the dialect, and also in religion.
So how like there's places that speak like Geechee and stuff like that. So if you read, there's a book by Nora Neale Hurston, and it's called Barracoon, and she interviewed the last slave. Like that was basically what happened was, it was at the time it was illegal for them to be going to to get slaves or whatever, and they did an illegal slave trade and brought him to America. Like basically this was like the last actual real slave ship that went to Africa and brought back Africans as slaves. And he told his story of how he got here, which is the story of the Woman King. And that's basically what he said. I knew what the Woman King was before that movie came out, because I had read the book, and what he said was that some women came to his village and basically killed everybody because they was at war with the king, and then they sold them into slavery. And basically
it wasn't the women, it was the men.
Yeah, it was the men, it was the king.
Exactly.
Yeah, so what happened is she wanted the book came out in 2017. The book had been written many years before. The reason why they wouldn't publish it is because she would not write the words in American English. She wanted the book to be written in the broken English that he spoken, which was you can actually listen to it when you get a chance. Because I didn't read it. I listened to it on audio. And he also has an interview that he did. He has like a recording of him and the way that he speaks. And if you hear the way that he speaks, he definitely had like a different, I guess, like what they would call like Geechee. And I do believe that he was in like maybe South Carolina or North Carolina. And there's he actually wants slavery in it. What happened was, because he was African, he was discriminated against with the other black people, because they were still pretty much African, even though they had been slaves. They were the last group that came in, and they wasn't here long enough, I guess, to become Americanized, and they really didn't consider them to be black people. Other black people just saw them as pretty much Africans. So what they did was they built their own community, themselves, wherever it was that they were, somewhere in the South. I have to do more research because I can't remember. It's been a while, but it was a very interesting story, and that's crazy. I didn't think about what you just said and of why we don't speak like that, but there are some people who do, and a lot of those people are down where he is, which is, in the deep South.
Yeah, Prism said Gullah people come from Ivory Coast, only brought here to grow rice in South Carolina. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it just doesn't make sense because we didn't retain anything. And if you listen to, especially like Jamaica and Trinidad, if you listen to their dialects, you look at the way that they dress, the colors that they wear, the food, a lot of it is so similar to Africans. Like it's almost the same. Are you there, Creative?
Well, it's only like
wait. Go ahead, Creative.
Yeah, I'm here. I see what you're saying. I kind of agree. I'd be like, they kind of did lose their culture. I think, like they said, a lot of them were already here.
Yeah, because when I especially the Caribbean, when I listen to some of the African movies that I watch, or when I'm around African people and I listen to the dialect from African people and people from or people from Trinidad, it's similar. Like their patois is very similar, and I was like, wow, and it just made me think how did if we came just like they came, how did we lose as much as we've lost? Because we don't hold any of that stuff. I mean, if you look at you listen to the music is similar. Like even with their patois and their rap, the music is similar. The beats are similar. The dances are similar. So we couldn't have lost that much if we came from the same place. So I'm thinking a lot of us were here indigenously. And they don't represent us also as indigenous, as far as it pertains to Native American, because they were Black Native Americans, so to speak, is indigenous, but they were Black too. So I think that we got meshed up into because there were slaves, they enslaved, because they tried to enslave the Native Americans as well, but they refused. They fought them. So, and you have a lot of white people who usurp the indigenous Americans by saying that's where that 5% came from. And what a lot of them did was they dressed up in the fashion to take the land from them, and they in that culture to be able to steal from them. It's a whole bunch of stuff. But go ahead.
If you read, if you Google, it tells you. Even if like through time, no one ever. I think Black people when Roots came out and all this other stuff, like they had made up their own story of us. But they've always said like only 9% of slaves came directly from Africa. All the rest of them came from other places in the Americas. It's theirs. They've never really said that we came from Africa. I mean, of course they'll say, "Well, go back to Africa," because I believe what it is that at some point we came here before slavery, so we were here.
Right.
in all of the Americas, just like in Central America, South America, and all those places, there were Africans there already. So I guess technically, yeah, you can say that, or whatever, but
because
no,
everything was migration, and that's the thing. Everything was migration, and you even had Black people in Europe. You had Black people in Spain. Like they were everywhere anyway because of migration and travels and different things. But again, when you start colonizing and you get mixed up if you're not, just like the Italians when they first came here, and the Irish, those people weren't counted as white people. They were looked down upon and everything else. And the Irish were for a half a second where you know what I'm saying? So again,
the Irish probably haven't been white. I mean, the Irish and Italians, I don't even think it's been 100 years yet that they have been considered white.
Right.
You know what?
Maybe 50 or something.
Right, I've done genealogy research, and that's true. When you start looking back at the first census reports, they would actually have white, and they would then have another. It would be Italian, and then it would be, you know what I mean, Negroid.
Yes, and then what people don't realize is they make it seem like there was just this big dip, not this census, but the one before it, that there was this big dip in decline in white people. It wasn't. It was because they were counting all those other people as white, including Hispanic people, including Latin American people. They were counting them as white. They weren't distinguishing them as Hispanic or of Hispanic descent. So that's why it always made it seem like they were the majority, because they weren't distinguishing those things.
Well, I will tell you about the research. I'm sorry, real quick. I've actually spoken to relatives. My third cousin, who was born in Mali, and she lives in Washington, D.C. now. And her family's in Mali. So we're talking about, basically the cradle of knowledge in Africa. And I have, because I did my genealogy, research, and it's amazing. If you haven't done that, it'll show you where you have blood relatives in the country and outside of the country, if you pay for that extra fee. And so I was actually able to connect to my cousin who was born in Mali. And I mean, she still have relatives there. She goes back there every year. It's really amazing. But I know my people were in the Congo area, and spread all throughout the islands, which is really, just wild. When you think about that, your blood is on all these islands, and how it got that. Was it from the slave owners, or was it the Africans, or both? More than likely both. You know what I mean? So just really freaky.
That's why I don't understand, like, whenever racist white people, like, I call them Trump Republicans, because I believe when he came, that he brought all of the, like, but I ain't gonna get into that right now, but he brought the ones that was, I don't know, I don't know where they came from, but they always saying, I heard, like, one of them was like, that's why you don't know your history, your lineage. And I'm just like, well, you don't, how is it you think I don't know my lineage, but you do? And we came here around this whole slavery thing happened around the same time, which is about 400 years ago. So whatever you thought you haven't been there for 400 years. Not only that, but if you know your lineage, that means that you knowingly enslaved Irish people, you knowingly discriminated against other Europeans, but that you knew was your lineage. So either you are capping now because you want to I don't know what you want to do, but none of it is making sense to me, because all the time that I was in Europe, they don't claim you. Like, they don't want nothing to do with you, with American white people. So, like, I don't understand, like, whenever I hear them say that, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, what lineage do you know? Because you did a 23andMe and now you're running around with Scottish skirts on, but when at the time before, about 100 years ago, 200 years ago, anybody who came here that wasn't already, that didn't come here with the Pilgrims, was an outsider and wasn't allowed in your club. And now You're trying to get in their club. It makes no sense to me. The whole
I
thing is
always
just
tell them,
really
I
ridiculous.
always say, this is what I always say. I hope you, like when they're prejudiced and racist, please do a DNA test. Please, please, please do a DNA test. Everybody originated from Africa. So if I go back, you come back with me.
Some of their grandmamas is probably black,
Blacker than
probably
black.
was biracial. Like, and
Okay.
I get them with that all the time too. Other than the fact that I throw in the face that y'all do it all of this slaving and robbing and all this other stuff, and now your women is single mothers with Tyrone kids. Like, make it make sense. But I always tell them, like, we've been mixing with you guys for a very long time, and you don't even know. Some of you are probably your grandmother was probably a biracial woman.
Right. There was this white woman, and she was like, I think she was in her late 60s. Her late 60s. I think she was on Oprah. I forgot where
I've seen her.
You know what I'm talking about. And she said she just discovered that she's black. Like her mother, her grandmother was black, or her mother was black, and she never knew it.
And her father was a racist.
Yes, and never knew it. And it was a lot of women living like that. Like, it's
She said her father was a racist.
Yes, and a lot of them, like, we know because we had people in our family that was passing, what we call passing. We know. And then we knew of our, like, my both. I have 2 great grandfathers that are white, so like. We already know, you know what I'm saying? We know, but white people don't know, but black people know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Queen Elizabeth that just passed, her grandmother was a Moor, okay? She was a half black. And we're talking about Queen Elizabeth. And then turns out that this the princess that defected, you know what I mean? The half black one, she's related to their family too. She's related.
I heard that.
Megan?
Megan,
yes.
yeah.
I heard that, yeah.
Because you have to have the
she's related to them.
Mm-hmm. So
what I'm surprised about is they didn't pop up. You know, and I love this. This is so funny to me. Is when they pop, like, because and this is what's funny to me too about black men is blackness will just jump out at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, years down the road, 2 white people have a black baby, and they're like, "Wait a minute, where the hell this baby come from? It's yours."
That's right.
It's yours. Blackness will pop up anytime, anywhere.
Right, that red hair will pop up sometime. You know, I'm like, where did this come from?
And I'm just waiting for Megan to push out a baby. Since you said that, I'm waiting for Megan them to push out a baby and it to be darker than me.
It is not.
And they were like, "Oh my God!"
Oh, they're gonna be really mad. You know, they can't stand her. You know, they can't stand her. They're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, she's like whatever." They wait till they see those recessive genes. Like,
yeah, she cheated. That's not his child. No,
crazy.
This is all his. It's
all the women that hate her because they had this fantasy in their head that one day they would grow up and marry the prince, and then here come this this biracial girl from America, and it ruined their whole dreams forever. It's just like the Little Mermaid being black now. They're just crushed about it.
I mean, it's crazy how they fall the hell apart.
But they just fall apart.
They really fall the hell apart when they see anything black represented. Like, what's wrong with y'all? But y'all
even
swear,
the
but you swear you're not
racist.
You swear you're not racist, and then you call it wokeness to hide the racism. Like, miss us with that. You people are really truly racist. If you have such a problem with a Disney character being represented by someone of color, there's something wrong with you.
If something happens with them, I don't know. Like, I mean, if you ever notice, like, the black men of the Manosphere acts exactly like racist white
women.
people.
They act like white women. Black
they act like Karen.
Women. It's intersectionality, and they really do go well with each other, just like black women go well with white men. It's insane when you think about it.
For some reason, they're all angry. Like, I don't know why. I asked one of them, like, why are you always angry all the time for no reason?
They're the
like,
most entitled of their demographic. They're the most entitled. They're the most victim. They have this victimhood mentality. They have this sense of entitlement, and they want to be coddled and taken care of. They're the damsels of both demographics. And it was crazy because it was a white woman. We did this. We showed this. A white woman was saying she was in awe of the fact that when a black woman marries a white man, the marriage lasts longer, and their economics are the best. Like they make more money than any other couple, any other people that is coupled, black woman and a white man.
Why would she be surprised when, number one, their union is in hate anyway? It's not really, they both, and then another thing that they have in common, of course, is being hypersexual. So like it's rooted in hypersexuality, hate, and anger at their self for whatever reason. I think white women really hate the fact that they cannot be white supremacists like their husband, like their fathers and husbands or whatever. And they also feel like they under some type of oppression, that they're a victim, even though they can literally sit back and not do anything. They want to have a freedom fight or something. I don't know what it is with them. And then you have black men, of course, that's been slaves for 400 years, that they will never ever I don't know, that they can't find a way to overcome, and then them two come together. So I don't understand, like, why they don't understand the difference is that they're lazy. Like, both of you are lazy, and both of you don't want to work, and both of you are entitled, and both of you have been handed the world and put on this pedestal that you never deserve. And then here it is, we're working. White men and black women are working. We have to work to provide this lifestyle for you. Well, we had to. Hopefully other women stop doing that. But that's the reality of it, of why black men are like that.
And why the marriages last so long is because white men know that they don't have to go out and not, and they can rest in the fact that black women can take care of home. They're not gonna fall, their home is not gonna fall apart because they've left. They're not worried about black women calling them talking about, a leaky faucet when she's probably going to call the plumber and the plumber is going to already be there. They don't have to worry about the same types of things that they have to worry about with the white woman. A black woman is not going to get bored at home and start screwing the plumber and screwing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that again, they can rest. White men can actually rest when they couple with a black woman, because she's going to be loyal. She's going to do what she needs to do to take care of home. She's going to do what she needs to do to take care of them. And they understand that black women are not the problem. I think
you remember
I think society has figured it out. Black women are not the problem.
Do you remember? Well, I'm pretty sure you remember. You're an educated woman, so like like back in the day. I'm sorry, God. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm being serious. But it is funny. But back in the day, black, white women husbands used to put them in mental institutions because of for hysteria, which hysteria was, they thought it had something to do with, sex, like being, like their vagina, and being oversexed or hypersexual or whatever the case may be. And like when I first heard that, I was like, Dad, that's messed up. And they used to then it got into where they was getting lobotomies and electric shockings and all this other stuff. And then now I'm starting to think, now that you see Karen running around crazy like a wild alley cat and she just doing all kinds of stuff, and I'm just thinking, like, I think that these men was like onto something. Like, they knew something. Maybe they didn't want to say it publicly, but actually they did. They did talk about, because they would put women that was considered promiscuous in a mental hospital. Like they would think something was wrong with them, and they would try to fix them or whatever. And maybe they really knew what was going on, and these men had to put these women in a mental hospital because that was the only way that they can, help them. I don't know, but I'm starting to like, I'm about to start reading into that time period of what was actually happening, because I feel like we're seeing it right in front of our face with Karen. Like, if it was this time, she would have been in there. She would have been in the mental hospital already. It would have been done. So it would be no more like her running around the street just terrorizing everybody. No way.
Okay, we're gonna get last words on the topic.
That was my last word, in which that was word.
Go ahead, creative. What are your thoughts on Homoromantic, Manosphere, and Redpill man?
Yeah, I think it's the truth. I think a lot of these men, they want something to talk about with their guys, so one thing that they could talk about is how much sex they had or what kind of woman they slept with. What did she do? So I think it's a form of them trying to bond with one another because they don't have anything else to talk about because they don't know how to be vulnerable within themselves. So it's like, you know, you're trying to create something, but it's not a real relationship. It's superficial. So first that, and second of all, yeah, a lot of them they just want to have access to the woman just for sex, but they don't want to create any kind of bond. So it's kind of weird, and it's like no woman is gonna really want that from you, you know. So yeah, I think it's a lot of them out here, even though you guys say it's the red pill is a small percentage. But
Who
I
said it was a small percentage? Who said that?
I think it's like a good like 50 or 60%
Yes.
of them that are truly and truly like that. And back to this video, I wanted to comment on this video. I think this is like blasphemy. Like, you know, none of these women found out that he had all these kids. You know, if I'm with a guy and the thought of him just cheating and sleeping with that many women, I wouldn't even want him anymore. Because I would be like, damn, you done been with everybody. You're not that even that special to me anymore. So I think it's just crazy. All these women slept with him and had kids, and the simple fact that another woman accepted him and had two more kids. Like what is this? Are we on a desperation train or what?
Right.
So yeah, I thought that was just crazy. You're better off being single or dating a whole different man. At least you can get some child support from him. But what are you getting from him? But just, you know, what is it, big dick and bubble gum? That's not, you know, after about 30 minutes, that shit doesn't mean anything, you know? So I think it's blasphemy. That's the most craziest video I ever heard. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you guys for having me. And yes,
Thank you,
I will
creative.
be rating guys on my platform.
A lady.
Thank you. Really great video, funny, both of the videos. Okay, the panel, we talked about that. That was crazy. This last one, this man with all these children, I guarantee you he was operating right in the neighborhood. I guarantee you the women all knew each other. They looked alike. They're probably in the same city. You know how those bums roll. They weren't all over the country. They were right there in the neighborhood. I would like to know the follow-up story on that, but that was just sad. Very sad. So here is the announcement I wanted to make. I don't know if you've heard in the Black YouTube streets, but the Queen Burley has been dethroned as the king of the Manosphere and president, and so there has been a election announced for the new president of the Manosphere.
You gotta be kidding.
Yes, I heard the candidate speak today. He sounded very, promising.